I'm here to say, and this is the reason why I came to see you, Alex, is you are one of the very few who are operating under this theory to be an independent American. In a big way. If your calling is media, fine. If your calling is sports, whatever it is, but you've got to be the greatest you can be now. I don't know why they've been successful in pushing everybody into these little ghettos of these Facebooks and these tweets and these Instagrams, these Instas. This is ghetto. This is ghetto. This is corporate. They're taking your energy. They're taking your energy, and you're getting nothing in return. Nothing.
They're dumbing the language down. Twitter's designed to reduce the language directly out of 1984. It's ingsoc.
I had a Supreme Court justice tell me to my face, it's over for me. I said, Matt, it's over for you. They've got the votes now to enforce copyright law. You're out of there. They're going to make it so headlines you can't even use headlines. To have a Supreme Court justice say that to my face, that it's over. They've got the votes, which means time is limited. Time is not forever. How many more moons and sunrises will you see in your life rise and fall? There's not that many. It's a small amount. So for people to be saying with this attitude, oh, I'll get on with my life and my greatness sometime. No, you can't.
We're being enslaved now, and that's it. Under the TPP, they admit you can't put a headline to the New York Times. You're sending massive traffic to them. They're claiming you're taking their words. This is insane.
And you had the Justice Stephen Breyer said we need to look at a global law now. Remember just recently
getting him lined up with it.
So they're getting ready for these decisions to come. You thought Obamacare was shocking. You thought some of these other decisions were shocking. Wait until these copyright laws work their way up and the Supreme Court decides you cannot have a website with news headlines linking across the board.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones coming to you live from the front lines of the Infowar.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is 2:02 Central Standard Time. This is a Saturday live emergency broadcast. This is an emergency transmission, an emergency broadcast. Many of our AM and FM affiliates and TV affiliates are picking us up right now. But the only other news site in the world, as of 20 minutes ago when I was getting ready, and I've been scouring the web, that is covering what's really going on, is drudgereport.com. You would think that when the Wall Street Journal announced 2 weeks ago that they were going to start censorship of Infowars working with Google in the next month and that Drudge would be next, you would think that that would be a bigger story when last week George Soros said, we're working with the EU, all nationalism, any type of sovereignty will be banned on the internet. That was BBC, like it was a good thing. We'll fix people not wanting to be in the unelected EU. We'll just ban your speech. So understand, this isn't about Infowars any more than if a meteor was coming to kill all life on Earth, some 100-mile wide asteroid. Yeah, it affects me, but it's not about me. It's about all of us. And what's crazy is, in the trade publications, they admitted 2 weeks ago what they were going to do, and I just couldn't even believe it, that they would be so public. I'm going to go over that in a moment. And then yesterday, CNN has not one, not two, but 3 reports and 2 articles saying Alex Jones says nobody died and Alex Jones bullied children, and he says they're all actors. And then they did something amazing. No video link, no text, no nothing. Now, if I would have said that, it'd be my free speech. And if the families got mad, they could sue me. That's how you're supposed to do it in a free country. No, they banned the videos. And then I went and looked at the videos because we had them on our own feed, the exact same videos. And it was videos of not one, not two, but 3 witnesses, 2 of them on mainstream TV saying there were multiple gunmen and saying they were with the supposed shooter while the shooting happened and he didn't have guns. KHOU, you name it. Houston TV was there covering baseball tryouts. It was another Florida station. And then video shot over the shoulders of other stations. And then we had one of the young people on the show. And Snopes said he was an actor. So I'm saying these young adults are actors. They call them little baby kids I'm attacking. And then we actually had a guest on saying, oh, during the shooting, we're outside, and it's like 6, 7, 8 minutes in, and all these sheriff's deputies pull up in police cars, and no one goes in. And I noticed that's one of the videos they banned, was eyewitnesses report multiple shooters. And I've got the complaints, the filing, all this. Think about that. Think about that. So Jaylen Martin comes on our show the day after it happens. He sends us his ID. He's online on the school website. And Snopes and Soros and all of them come out and say he's an actor. It's not real. We've hired actors. Now, they then send people to bully old women at their houses in Broward County, the same place, now Coward County. All this is happening, and I'm going to get into the censorship, the documents, the incredible proof in a moment, and the fact that the CEO of News Corp announced 2 weeks ago, we're going to start by banning conservatives and libertarians by calling them bullies. We've met with Google, and soon it might be maybe 100 corporations that have access to the internet. No one else will be able to spread their information. He called it a dysfunctional online environment and admitted to censorship to block everyone else but big corporations. And then he met with Google, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, look at this headline, analyzing it. Hold on to your tinfoil hat. Alex Jones, YouTube is coming for you. That was last week. Now, how did they come for me? CNN went with a top story saying Alex Jones says no one died and they're all crisis actors. And he's bullied the children, saying they're fake and were hired and brought in from other states. When I went, and plus everybody knows who watches the show, I never said that. I said the sheriff's department clearly stood down from our witnesses. That's a huge story today, all confirmed. Sheriffs had to admit not one. Now it's 4 deputies. Jaylen Martin said off air and on air that more than 10 vehicles pulled up and sat there. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jaylen Martin, totally proven right. We're going to get him back on tomorrow during the regular Sunday show. So, hey, student reported multiple shooters and stand down. That was last week, the day after the shooting. Did we say it didn't happen? No, we didn't. We said it happened. I talked to witnesses. Some of them didn't want to come on air, but we've talked to other witnesses who were scared to come on. They said, no, there was people getting shot. There was 2 gunmen. And there are other people on TV locally saying that's what they saw. That's the thing. We're playing mainstream TV clips. That's what got banned. Not for copyright claims. It's fair use. They said he bullied children. These were the young people, 3 of them. A white girl, a Hispanic girl, and a black young man, all saying the same thing. Think about that. I see we've got the break clock running. We're not going to take any breaks, my friends. Thanks. Now, pulling back. Why are we here? Why are you watching? Before I get into all of this, because I'm going to show you where we first said there was a sheriff's department stand down a week ago. It's admitted today. We're going to show you where we said multiple shooters. It's now out in the news today. It's being looked at, just like Vegas. We're going to show you the videos that they banned on YouTube here. And then I'm going to show you what they said in the complaint and what they said in us being censored. And then I'm going to show you the raw video files that have no reflection to what they said. Because here's the deal. They shouldn't ban you if you question events because they threw babies out of incubators and lied about it. That never happened, or all the other WMD hoaxes or whatever. We should have a right to question. But what CNN and MSNBC and all of them are pissed about is somebody a week ago put out a video showing BuzzFeed saying all the kids are friends, the 4 out of the 3,000 students that get all the attention, they're in the drama club, they're in the media club, and they're anti-gunners. BuzzFeed, here, let's pull it up. BuzzFeed said the day after the shooting that these 4 kids everywhere were in a drama club together. Doesn't mean that the shooting didn't happen. Doesn't mean it's a fake attack. It means they've been given scripted responses, and why out of 3,000 people are they being given all the attention? They had a problem yesterday. As I pointed all this out, I said there's no clip of me saying that there were no shooters or it didn't happen or they were crisis actors. In fact, the clips I'm saying is they're not crisis actors. They're anti-gun zealots with anti-gun parents that work for CNN and the FBI who are going around telling Dana Loesch and the NRA they're murderers and want them literally burned at the stake. Burn her, burn her. We can play those videos if you want. So they're in a man's world, they're in an adult's world as seniors, saying, you're a murderer, Dana Loesch. All of you are criminals. We're going to burn you. And we go, okay, you guys are putting out the exact same talking points over and over again. You're in the same drama class, and you're the only people we see on the news out of 3,000 students. And in some of these live feeds, you're bumbling and they're saying, it's okay, say this. It's clearly scripted. So CNN's been caught in a fake town hall. Students, the parents are all going public. They got copies, the questions, everything. What are they going to do? This whole thing's falling in on them because they jumped on a crisis. They jumped on a problem in one of the biggest high schools in America. They had people that already work for CNN and stuff in there. They got them rolled out right up front, gave them the talking points. That's now come out. What do? They go, well, we already announced that we were going to start censoring people claiming everything's bullying if you question anything. So we'll just say Alex Jones came out and said nobody died. It's all fake. And they're all actors. And then we won't show the video or a quote or a clip on ABC, CBS, NBC, Comedy Central, all of them. They won't show a clip. They'll just say, I said this. That's next level. But notice they never put quotes around it. They never put quotes. They just say, Jones said no one died. It's all crisis actors. And then last night, Media Matters edited a 59-second clip together where I was talking about CNN saying Jones says that there were nobody killed in crisis actors, and that is how dumb they think you are. They put out a 50-something second clip. I guess they got a blurb at the end, but it's 57 seconds long when I'm talking. Well, that's the other clip of Bill Rye. Oh, see, they're trying to say, Jones is crazy. He says there was a stand down. The deputy stood down. He's a liar. And then now it's all come out. That's another clip. The other clip from Media Matters is 50-something seconds long, and it's the headline, Jones makes fun of David Hogg. No, I was laughing at Anderson Cooper where they're saying that I said no one ever died, but not showing a clip. We're supposed to believe Mr. CIA. There it is. Alex Jones mocks Parkland survivor David Hogg for having to say he isn't a crisis actor. And then you watch the clip they're putting out. It sounds like I'm saying they were actors, and it sounds like I'm saying it didn't happen. I was quoting them and laughing because that isn't what we said. Never, anywhere. Everyone knows it. But again, that's why they're the fake news. And they'll say, Jones calls David Hogg fake news. No, it's you that are bullying all these students and parents that said you were given fake questions and told you couldn't speak if you didn't do it. Yeah, there I am. Days and days ago, Alex Jones claims there's a cover-up going on about Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg. And what I said is, notice it's quotes around, there's a cover-up going on. They just put David Hogg on the end to say, you criticize us, we're using young adults, calling them children, who we've put in a political position to come out and say Dana Loesch is a murderer, all NRA members are murderers, billboards saying kill NRA members, hashtag hunt Republicans. And we're like, you know, why don't you talk about the Arab Spring? Or why don't you talk about all this other stuff that's much bigger? You're blaming gun owners, and they just say, shut up, you're a bully. They're using young people as a shield. Young people with scripted, 3 of the 4 got up there and said, you're a murderer. They're all coming up saying, you're a murderer. And we go, man, why are we only hearing from these 4 young people, these seniors, these young adults? And then, oh, my God, you've got to be banned because you bullied David Hogg. And then you go to the video, and CNN says in 3 articles, they filed the complaints to have our main YouTube channel with over 2 billion views and 2.2 million subscribers They say, we are filing complaints and we are in contact with YouTube executives. So I can't talk to YouTube executives. I get like 2 lines to put in the deal and say, this is a disinformation campaign by CNN. I did not say that it was a hoax, and I did not bully any children. I simply covered and interviewed people that said that there were multiple shooters, which was on the local news. I get to put that in a little box, and but CNN is there talking about my account, learning all about it, learning about the monetization, all my personal details, serious racketeering. You know, like in your business office. And it's just like the New York Times video of the YouTube executive embedded inside the New York Times who said, our main job, Project Veritas got it last year, is to censor Alex Jones. And, you know, we just make sure that only people that go to the actual page can see him. We block it everywhere else. And they got Twitter executives and Facebook executives, and they said, our main mission is to block Alex Jones. And then they had congressional hearings admitting the whole thing. So I'm putting that all on screen. See, I don't just say, oh, they did this. I show you where they did it. See, but, oh, they say Alex Jones went on air and he said no children died, which I didn't say. And then they edit me saying what they say together and put it out from a weird Nazi collaborator named George Soros. And here's the bigger story, and this is the thing I should say right up front. This is the most important thing. The Wall Street Journal, Google, the YouTube's CEO, they all came out 2 weeks ago and said, we met at a big telecom meeting in Silicon Valley, and we've decided to use the bullying clause to ban anyone criticizing or anyone saying someone's a liar. Now, CNN and MSNBC, they can all call you child bullies, liars, racists, Nazis, homophobes, whatever they want. But we're going to start banning people, starting with Alex Jones. And then a week and 6 days later, now 2 weeks later, they come out and say, multiple strikes against Alex Jones, because they went and did it to even people that work here who have their own YouTube channels that are theirs. And, man, they hit them all. And they would just pick a random video. It could be a video, not even talk about the shooting, and say, they're bullying kids. Well, here's your strike. And then the media had hundreds of articles a day going, I bet Jones backs off if he's smart after bullying kids. They make censorship about, oh, I bet he backs off after bullying kids. So when they then ban us, they go, well, they were given a chance. Because you read, I sat there for hours this morning scanning over dozens of articles. I could see over 100. CNET News, Washington Post. Alex Jones set to be banned for bullying kids. Will he stop it? He's a real jerk. He said nobody died. He said they're all child actors hired from California, and none of them were in the school. And then no link, no video, no quote, no nothing. This is fraud, not against me, but against all of us. Meanwhile, all we read, can we pull it up? I was actually sent by a great patriot this morning, Ted Nugent, a clip asking me about it. And I said, oh, yeah, that's all true. We're going to get him on Monday. Ted Nugent sent me this article. I want you guys to print it because it's a good chronicle of what we're talking about. This is alarming report emerges about who is really controlling the narrative following Florida. And it's how Soros has the women's group funding it, how the kids in BuzzFeed said they're all actors and they're all I mean, BuzzFeed said it, but how they're all proud of it, though. BuzzFeed said the day after the shooting, in an article titled, here's what it's like at the headquarters of the teens working to stop mass shootings. Document can, please. So we don't say they're actors from California that weren't there. We say they're scripted anti-gunners who are in the drama club and in the journalism club and whose mom works for CNN and dad FBI. And they're out there being given 98% of the attention when the other 3,000 students are being blocked or being scripted or being controlled. And they turn around because we mentioned that in an article. They go, Jones is a lying, complete piece of filth. I mean, Kepler said we are total scum, trash, people that hate children, people that hate America because we said no children died and it's all fake. And then no video clip. They played a 3-second thing of Owen saying boy, this looks scripted. Are they actors? And that was days after they said they were actors. But not actors in the sense that they weren't at the school. Actors in that they admittedly are in the drama club, and BuzzFeed said that helped them be articulate and anti-gun. Now, let's continue. They go on to say that the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., put out a tweet that no children died. They don't show you the damn tweet because he didn't say that. And I know you know they're fake news. So what is the story here? What is the big galactic enchilada? That Google, Facebook, Twitter, their subsidiary YouTube, and every other big globalist combine, including News Corp, came out 2 weeks ago and said, we are going to ban Infowars. We had articles with George Soros saying, I want Drudge, quote, banned and blocked in Europe. They are saying it. Doesn't matter that Drudge gives more than half the traffic to Newsweek and Time and the Washington Post and the New York Times. It's all admitted. They don't like the fact that he'll link to when Gruber said, thank God they're so stupid, and then later, oh, I didn't say that, or you know, he'll link to Obama saying you didn't build your business, and then saying I never said that, or they just want total control. Here's a guy giving them half their money, way more money than he ever makes, sending them links, and they're like, we don't like that. We want him shut down. So, of course, it's Drudge that came here 2 years ago and warned us, because he met with the Supreme Court justice, the only other conservative that wasn't killed. And it turned out they killed Scalia dead in the hammer. That's the other one. And he said, I've been told it's all happening. When Hillary wins, they're going to end free speech, call it all bullying. It's going to be hellish. Oh, my God, should we leave the country? But Trump happened, so we've got a beachhead, but they're still moving ahead with the exact same plan. So here's the big story. We're going to play the clips. It's all coming up. Owen Schroyer. Let's document, Cam, please, for TV viewers. I know there's some stations covering it, so I'll document it. And I'll narrate it here. And then this was as of this morning. It's way over this right now. Last night at 6 o'clock, they put up the banned videos. Drudge linked to them. They got 3,876,417 views on 2 videos. I'm told right now it's like 7 million. And what are the videos? Multiple eyewitnesses report more than one shooter. And it's 3 eyewitnesses, 2 of them on local news, 1 of them we interviewed, and saying the sheriff's deputies all sat outside more than 10 vehicles doing nothing for a lot longer than 4 minutes. Now, why did they want that banned? That was from last week. Last week. Because we had the eyewitness on, and we had other clips from mainstream news about multiple shooters and all these sheriff's cars waiting outside in Coward County, as it's now known. Of course they got to ban that. The KHOU reporter, top sports reporter there to cover baseball tryouts nearby, ran over there. I know that guy. He's been on since I was a kid. He went and got the interviews, and they matched up with everybody else, and they wouldn't let him air it that night. You know what he did? He put it out on his own Twitter. And somebody else shot a video over the shoulder of another reporter to get it out. And then we called and got people on, and we talked to more students, not just the ones on air. And they all said, yeah, it's weird. He was outside with us, and he left while it was still going on. And then, you know, they had body bags, other people, and they were shooting some other guy. And they, wow. And, of course, they don't. So what do they say? Jones got a strike for saying there was no shooting and bullying children. And everybody else complains, we'll shut him down for good because, you know, we don't have child bullies on air. And then you go watch both videos, and they are calm, focused, and, man, I'm sad they're using these young people. He calls them kids. They're not. They're high school seniors. But, man, they're out there doing political stuff, and they're talking these talking points. Why is it only 4 people out of 3,000 we hear speaking? And why are they bumbling around and messing up on these quotes, saying it was a drill, but it's not? The headline is, Alex Jones finally got stood up today after he claimed nobody died. Don't worry, George Soros' outfit's moving. We're with CNN. We're going to shut him down. We're going to get rid of that free speech. You'll all be safe after we're done. They got a quote where I mock David Hogg. Not true. All edited together. I'm just talking about how Anderson Cooper's on there laughing at him, saying that I said, because that's what's in the clip, that he's a crisis actor, when I didn't say that. That's why you don't have me saying it. I'm laughing. I'm laughing at you, lying scum. You're a full-grown adult from the CIA, Anderson Cooper, and so's Phil Mudd that's on with you. Even the Media Matters commenters went today. They went, actually, we went and watched the videos. There's none of that in there. Even their own leftists are like, wait a minute. We're going to just get rid of free speech, and then Rupert Murdoch's going to run it, and they're going to get rid of all of it, and they're working with it. They've got all the newspapers. I always talk about this perfect storm of the Republicans and the Democrats and the liberals, the conservatives that are establishment, the blue blood Republicans, the establishment Democrats, getting together when their newspapers collapse, their TV networks collapse, because the people don't want them and don't want to watch, that they would come in a perfect storm and come after the independent real media that has supplanted them and totally overturned them through free market will. It's like people that manufactured horse buggies being mad that Model Ts were coming out and saying, you know, there's a devil in the Model T. Model Ts hurt the children. Ban them. That might have worked. Ban the Model T. It's got Satan's. It's like Christine. It's possessed. I saw a Model T eat 19 baby children. But you didn't. It didn't happen. The Model T didn't do that. So that's what they're doing here. And this is the biggest assault. And they said 2 weeks ago, the Wall Street Journal. You can link through to the article. It's on Infowars.com. And it's linked in Paul's article. News Corps CEO admits he wants internet censorship so News Corps can make more money. He actually says it. Hold on to your full hat. Alex Jones, YouTube is coming for you. And you scroll down, you can link to the Wall Street Journal article. And it says, we're going to start with Alex Jones. We're going to say he's bullying people. And then a couple days later, there's a mass shooting. And all I do is show you local newscasts, people saying multiple shooters, and that they were with the supposed shooter, and he wasn't shooting people. And they crap their drawers and go, well, we just say he was bullying kids. We down the video. Nobody can see it. And this is perfect. We ban him, and then we say what we banned. Hell, say you banned me raping 5-year-old children. It might be out there watering bluebonnets, but they'll just say, we banned Alex Jones for raping children. And then meanwhile, Sandusky and all these other folks are actually out there doing it, in the Lolita Express and the Clintons. So let me just show you some of the files here. But this is where we're at right now, and this is the good news. People are so sick of YouTube and Google and all the rest of this crap, and Facebook and Twitter and all their shadow bans and their executives caught on hidden cameras admitting they're censoring. And well, what else do you censor other than Alex Jones, Project Veritas answers? Well, anything like him. They just say he's the enemy. And they also don't want American flags spread. That's that. And by the way, the Ninth Circuit's ruled you can ban those in what, 7 or 8 states. Those are evil. See, and I didn't just say that. Purdue banned using the word man in English literature. They say it's evil. It's just man is a bad thing. That's the ultimate discrimination against one half the species. You see, it sounds crazy, but they want to just be crazy, and you hear it, and just through cognitive dissonance, accept it. They don't want me here to say, hey, that's crazy. You already know it's crazy. You just don't want somebody to second what you already innately know. So, go to Infowars.com. Go to Newswars.com. Click on the article on the site titled, Watch. These Infowars videos were banned by YouTube. Share the videos. YouTube doesn't want you to see. And you scroll down. You've got our live feed, or I guess it's not the live feed, it's another feed. I wanted to put the live feed in here if we could. And then below it, you've got the banned videos. And you've got multiple eyewitnesses report more than one shooter in Parkland. And then you've got this video. David Hogg can't remember his lines. And he's bumbling around saying, it's okay, this is what you say. I mean, he's clearly being fed. We're not saying it didn't happen. We're not saying... No, because they keep misrepresenting. They keep playing games here. It's not splitting hairs. It's 2 different worlds. We're not saying the shooting didn't happen. He was brought in out of town as a crisis actor. We're saying he's a Democratic Party operative with the anti-gun lobby who's being force-fed 99% of the time to everybody, instead of the other people saying that they're pro-gun. And there were multiple shooters and a stand-down ordered, and the sheriff's all sitting around outside, which we first broke and is now all confirmed. The young people we had on, they don't want you to hear from? It's all over the place now. The sheriff has to admit it. So let's go over the numbers from hours ago. David Hogg can't remember his lines. 2,224,000 plus people watched it. Multiple eyewitness report, more than one shooter, 1,651,000. It's way over that now. It's close to double that. Now, right under this is our community violation. It says we bullied David Hogg. And the next one says that we bullied students. We bullied students in the video titled Multiple Eyewitnesses Report, More Than One Shooter. So by having them, here it is right here. Here's the second one. By having them on air to say, I'm pro-gun, the sheriff's department stood down, there was more than one shooter, a bunch of my friends saw the other shooter while they were with Cruz. That is sensational. And I don't even know if what the hell's going on. I'm just saying, we put out videos of local news and then interview other locals and they say exactly the same thing. And then they say we're bullying students and ban it and say, don't worry, we're getting ready to ban Alex Jones from YouTube. And then everybody else, because we want a corporate takeover and we can't compete, a la News Corp meeting with Google executives 2 weeks ago. So, that's how they operate. And they say, we got to do something about bullying America. And then they just call any speech they don't like bullying. They even when you don't bully, they misrepresent it in a fraud on you. So if you're watching on live feeds right now, you need to get this live link out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're already banned on our main channel from putting up new videos and live streams. So we're already one step into the grave. And all these chicken neck cowards in mainstream corporate media, hundreds of articles. I mean, I read dozens of them this morning. Say, I bet Jones will cut his crap bullying kids now and saying nothing happened because he likes that monetary stuff from YouTube. Hey, jerks, I already got fired from my first #1 radio show for not towing the line. I've already been censored. I've already been attacked. I've already had them try to destroy my family. I've already had them do anything, stuff you couldn't imagine. I would never sell out. They already don't monetize 90+% of our stuff on our channel. They already block us. Our YouTube channel is a shadow of its former self, but everybody else grabs our videos and posts them, and they're viral everywhere. Fools. And I hate to even give you intel you haven't even figured out yet. You know, I don't want you to do the wrong thing, but you know how it works. Because, I mean, I looked at all these articles this morning, a bunch of them, and it was always, oh, he'll learn now about bullying children, but not a video clip, not a quote like journalists would do. Little telltale sign for you, a little red flag as big as they get, little canary in the coal mine that the truth's being murdered. And you sit back and you look at it and you realize, I've already got YouTube executives on video saying they suppress us and their job is to shut us up. Not that we're racist, not that we're hateful, not that we're bullying, but that that the New York Times doesn't like certain things we're doing. I mean, that's what they do. They're not just there to put out fake news and murder the truth. They're there to murder free speech and shut you up. These media organizations are anti-truth terrorists. They are there to rape the truth. And if you think you're going to sit there and ban me when you've already banned me, that's actually what I'm looking for. Because it's final. It really illustrates it all for people. And then we launch our big video platform that's already ready. And then we know all the dirty tricks you'll play against that. But it doesn't matter. You're fighting someone awake. We used to be asleep. She's a little different now that we're awake. And you keep fighting a war like you're fighting sleeping, slumbering people in a trance. You may have half the public in a trance, but a large portion of people are not in your universe anymore. They get it. They understand it. They know what it is. So, if you're just now tuning in, they announced in arrogant, epic fashion in scores of publications led by the News Corp CEO in his own publication the Wall Street Journal, that we're going to shut down the free internet and only make it about 100 companies that get fed to you over major platforms, and we're just met with Google and they've agreed. You'd think that'd have everybody crapping their pants, but see, everybody at the Washington Post, CNN News, and everybody, they all lined up dutifully and said, and they put out articles saying, we're going to say Alex is a bully last week. Okay, we're ready. Okay, he's a bully. He hurt children. We don't show the proof. We just do it. CNN comes out like, oh, don't worry. We blocked the publication with Neil Strauss through a major publisher of Alex Jones's new book. And we threatened Neil Strauss and everybody else, and we're promising they'll never work again. So that was 3 weeks ago. And then later, we're in contact about his private account. We're in his private account. We're looking at everything Alex does. You know, YouTube's racketeering with us and engaging tortious interference by 1,000% classical case. But we don't care. We're total gangsters. After all, we can read WikiLeaks. You go to jail if you do. We're God. We're thugs. We're goons. Okay, that's good. And we're in his account. We know everything about it. We're going to ban it. But we're just playing it out right now with this stuff. Because, you know, he said he hates kids, and he said they're all actors and nobody died. The son of a bitch. The article goes on like over and over again. Yeah, Jones says none of it's real. Nobody died. He's a real jerk, isn't he? And we're banning him. We're seeing it. Go read it. Infowars is 2 strikes away. Oh, no, you've done, there's 7 now. I noticed YouTube didn't take us down yet because they understand that they just became the Nazis in history. Like, the executives have this up at the highest level. It's one of the biggest stories in the country right now. Despite you all putting out your disinfo that Jones bullied children and Jones said nothing happened, everybody knows that's not true. And they've gone and seen the videos because we have our own platform and then Drudge linked to it. So it's up at 7 million views. This printout from earlier is 4 million. It's up at 7 million views on our own little platform, and bandwidth's so cheap now, it didn't like back when I'd get 4 million views on a video and it was $5,000. Oh, I'm happy to pay a couple $100 for those 7 million people to see it. You thought you wouldn't show them and just say it was there, and now it's come home to roost, and people are like, why would they ban local news stations saying there are multiple shooters and young people saying the sheriff's department stood down when that's all confirmed? They took this down because Jones broke it. Oh, my God. It'll probably be 20 million views tomorrow. You see? But it's the Streisand effect. They tried to hold the truth underwater. They tried to dominate it. They tried to rape it, and it failed. And we shouldn't be too confident, though, because we would have probably had 1 million people watch it. Drudge, 7 million before I went on air. Amazing. And it'll be 20 million tomorrow. And Drudge is right. Why are you in these electronic ghettos where they keep you and control you and ratchet you down? I know. I was there as outreach to point out it was an internet ghetto. And now, it's 1937 Germany. They're not just running their mouths and restricting people's businesses and beating a few folks up. They're putting the screws to everybody. Everybody overuses Nazi stuff. Baby, this is it. Incrementally suppressing people, getting them used to it, getting them conditioned that they'll be all right as long as they submit, until you kick the lever and the noose hits the neck, until you're marched into that ditch and your head's blown off. And you see the leftists everywhere. Canary in the coal mine, 2 months ago, Owen Schroyer went down to the vigil for the lady who was shot by the illegal alien who went free as a virtue signal in San Francisco, even though he admitted he shot her in the back. Not even manslaughter. Just, you go free. Got 15 guys with assault weapons. They go, you're not coming in here. You scared? You scared? Owen goes, officers, you do something? You got their guns, brandishing them, violating federal state law. Cops said, we're Blue City, sir. We're sorry. We have to stand down. Commies rule here. We can't even send a reporter to the Capitol now. They got armed people in communist masks to intimidate free speech. That's America now, 2018. They're everywhere saying, take the president's Twitter. Again, I covered it on Wednesday. I stacked 3 inches thick of mainstream news going, George Soros says it's time to ban all conservative and national speech, starting with the Drudge Report. It said, block the Drudge Report, ban it in Europe, were the quotes. I mean, it's like everybody should be running around panicking on the streets, but they've shadow banned and dialed us down and blocked us so nobody can see it and done it so long. Half the emails I get are, I told you when they did this to me and you didn't care. I've known it's been going on. You think I can just handle everything? Or cover all the crap going on? I understand. I can't get it all done, listeners. But I am so thankful to not be alone, because I was really, I don't want to say depressed, but so angry yesterday. I never go to bed at like 8 o'clock at night. I worked for about 6 hours on air, and I went home, saw my kids had dinner, and went and collapsed. And I woke up depressed in the middle of the night, not for me, but for America. I mean, this confirms everything. They're in the news saying, we're going to roll out a plan to everybody's bullies. We're going to start with Alex Jones, and we're going to ban everybody after that. George Soros like, yeah, we're going to do it. Get ready. It's about to happen. Don't worry, the cavalry's coming. We're going to ban free speech. And then they put the videos out, and then last night, I finally went and looked at the videos before I went to bed, and it wasn't even what they said, because I knew we hadn't done that. But even that lie shouldn't be a reason to ban us. And I was like, God, these are crooks, man. And I know we know that, but it's happening. Hashtag kill Republicans. Hashtag kill Trump. Phil Mudd on TV saying we're going to kill Trump. Kill the NRA billboard. Still not taken down. All the violence, all the calls, and it's all by a bunch of meth head trash working for some crazy Nazi collaborator piece of crap. And they've admitted, I saw this months ago, but I was even reading in the Jerusalem Post and stuff today, like, globalists and progressives see once they take Netanyahu down, the same model will be for Trump, and then other governors and other nationalists in Europe. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a nationalist and you believe in prosperity, and you believe in not screwing over your citizens, if you're not for the Islamic invasion, you're done. The Saudis bought it off. It's some sick alliance, and it's true. And all you morons that drank the Kool-Aid about hating Israel when it's a diverse Western country, has its own problems, they're even admitting they're going to get Netanyahu first, and then Trump, and then everybody else. And these idiot so-called patriot conservatives faction out there that are manipulated by leftist propaganda, and George Soros is in the WikiLeaks funding, and are like, yeah, great, let's bring down Israel. Idiots. Just morons. You are morons. You take down Israel, the Arabs are all going to fight over it. It's going to start a giant new world war, which is what the New World Order wants. Idiots. Trump's like, get rid of ISIS, pull out. In the destabilization, worldwide, stabilize things. He's just pragmatic. He's an American. And we get down to this end game, folks. The people like George Soros, and he's backed by even bigger evil behind him, and they're going for broke because they know whatever they pull off, we're going to be there. Again, somebody put out a video saying, are they crisis actors? Because they're in all this acting and all these careers, and BuzzFeed says they're actors and they're admitted anti-gunners. They didn't say they were. They said, we've caught Democrats doing this before. Are they? That wasn't our video. We said, no, I don't think they're full-time crisis actors. They admit they're actors, the Democratic Party operatives. And why are they getting 99% of all the coverage and force-fed? And look at this town hall looks fake. All of that came out. So they then say, this other video got taken down, and Jones had a similar one saying no kids died, so we took it down. And again, that's an organized fraud. And what's scary is, type in Alex Jones and click Google News right now. You can do Bing as well, as it's got a bunch of others. And it was over 100 articles this morning with my name and YouTube in it. Just type that in and show people on TV. Let's see how many it is today. Said 100 this morning, but it's always changing. Scroll down, it'll say right below that, the total number. I guess they've changed it changes constantly, but as you can see, scores of them right there. So I sat there reading, and they never quoted me. They never showed a video. And Media, I pointed that out yesterday, so Media Matters knew they had a problem, so they went and edited one where I'm talking about they say, I say nobody died, and they say, and this is, but then they edit it. They've got it real hazy, so you can't really see what, the edits. That's why they do that. Like resolution from 1996. And it's all edited. And it's just like, man, do you understand how criminal that is? George Soros putting out a video. The guy that's overthrown all these countries, that hates America, to deceive you. So that's where we are. That's where this society is. And people say, well, let's just leave YouTube. You know, it's its own platform. They operate as a utility. They say they're a utility. They violate their terms of service. It's like not baking the gay couple the cake. They got $500,000. This is open and shut on the same precept of you say you're open for business and then you discriminate and then you talk to CNN about my private account, my private life, what's going on with my private corporate agreement with you. Tortious interference, racketeering, fraud, and you use that relationship of private information to then misrepresent what's going on. And then you go and you agree that I have engaged in mass fraud and said children didn't die and are actors hired to come in at a fake event when you don't have that and you know it isn't true. And we're in such a precarious position where we still can say, here's our own platform, here's the video. And it devastated them. And they're so mad that they, CNN, MSNBC, all of them, who admittedly interface with YouTube. Soros, type that in, Soros and the Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL. I got to have a bite of this food. They, got to barely eat today. They bragged starting last year that they were overseeing content on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Just type it in. That George Soros-funded groups oversee the censorship of the entire internet. And then they can't even get a clip of us bullying people. They're little anti-gun spokespeople who are in a man's world, and people do it. You step out as a public figure, and that people deserve to talk about you. And they ban you right there. Knowing America's full of good, hardworking, decent people. And that we're not the types that want to bully kids. We're like, oh, yeah, ban that bullying. That mean Alex Jones, he bullied those kids. No, I interviewed the kids. So, let's talk about the facts here. They are coming for all of your rights. They know nationalism is exploding worldwide. They know people are waking up worldwide. They're upset. They don't know what to do. But they think, just like Gruber said, that you're dumb about health care, would let them triple prices on you. They think that they can just slip this by and say, well, YouTube's warned Alex Jones about bullying kids. That's in every one of the news articles. And then when they say something else is bullying, but you can't see it, well, he got warned. You know, it's not censorship. He got warned. And it's all a fraud. It's all scripted to ban us. And yes, it will make Infowars bigger and News Wars bigger. And at the end of the day, we'll probably bring in even more monetary support for us. But if they can do this to us, they can do it to anybody, and it'll only be a season. And that's what I meant to say at the very beginning. They'll get us, all of us, in the end. Now, let me give you the big, big, big thing I should have started this broadcast with, and I meant to. But then I just wanted to thank Drudge right up front, because without Drudge, we wouldn't even have a fighting chance. It's just true. It's true. It's true. It's not an ass-kissing operation. It's just the damn truth. Excuse me. Oh, God. But this is all about 2018. That's what I love about Drudge. And I'm not just saying this. Infowars is great. News Wars is great. A lot of great original content there. But the way Drudge, let's put it up on screen if we can, knows how to take a palette of just mainstream, alternative, government documents, you name it, and show you what's happening. And it's all about Hollywood imploding, the Olympics imploding, globalists imploding, nationalism rising in mainstream news. And it's all about China working to censor and you read it and you see how it's all interconnected every single day. And right in the middle of it, what does Drudge say? He says, Google, YouTube, war on Alex Jones, 3 strikes and you're terminated forever. And in this digital world, if you don't have a digital right to respond, it's like not having a right to vote. It's not having a right to contract to buy electricity or water. It's silencing you in this whole digital world where everything's done digitally. They can ban you off the internet, ban you off platforms like China does with internet IDs. that Google and Facebook already have us all internet IDs, and they called millions of conservatives last week. Well, they text messages said, call us with your number and give us your driver's license or you're banned. And see, now they have an internet ID, and they give you an internet ID. Everybody else doesn't get one till later. That's the Chinese system. Wow, I mean, we're in a science fiction movie. But then notice what Drudge puts right beneath it. Trump battles complacency in victory among conservatives and the faithful. And Bloomberg celebrates their own digital polls and things, real polls they're doing, not their fake polls, and says conservatives think they're winning and they're going to sleep. We're going to win. This is awesome. And that's it. And Drudge is like, no, look, they're trying to take Jones down. They're trying to take the internet down. They're coming. They're making their big move. They say it. You better wake up. And then it just goes on with the rest of the links. So that's the big announcement out of all of this. And it's not my opinion. Hillary said in 2015 and 16, when she won, they were going to, quote, shut down hate speech, shut down bullying, shut down free speech. It's all in the WikiLeaks that they admit it's not hating or bullying or anything. It's stuff that's effective. Like she falls down, they say that's a conspiracy theorist, she should be banned. MSNBC, CNN say, conspiracy theorist claims she fell down. She only stumbled. And they show the stumble, not the fall on her face. And it blew up because our video alone had 10 million views. Paul's had 20 million. I'm not kidding, it was insane. And here's CNN, MSNBC, all of them. I played the newscasters. The night it happened, the next day, I remember it was on 9/11, it was on the weekend. And they'd say, Jones claims she fell down, but she just stumbled. And we'd show the next clip of her falling flat on her face. I mean, oh, wow, they don't like that. So she said, when I get in, I'm going to shut down all their free speech. And I'm going to come. We're going to do it this way and that way. They had it all planned. But see, even though Trump won, they're still going ahead with it. So the Secret Service said they threw in there like a slab of meat, but the media said it never happened, and they wouldn't show you the clip, just like they won't show you what I supposedly said. They just say I said it without even putting quotes on it. They haven't gone that far in the fraud yet. So here's the big enchilada. I keep saying I'm going to give you the big enchilada. Here it is. What is the big enchilada? It's all about 2018, ladies and gentlemen. And they even say that. They said, we are going to shut everybody down, and we are going to tighten this thing up, and you are not. They had Podesta, and they've had Brennan, and they've had all these people, Senator Warner, going, you know, it was last week, the false info about Hillary being sick made her lose. That's going to be banned as foreign interference. Talk about death of logic. If you talk about Hillary being sick, that's foreign because I said so and it's banned. So they're moving past bullying now and lying about that to Warner is saying Facebook must combat false info, and he says what it is. And if he wants an email sent out to 600,000 Twitter users, tell them they're Russians, and next they call them and say, give us your number, and they get the number, they give it to CNN, and CNN shows up at your house harassing you. CNN is carrying out what the old Soviet Union used to do with its media. CNN is the one with the New York Times interfacing with YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and other Google platforms. Admittedly, CNN says, we are censoring Jones. We're so close to shutting him down. He said no kids died, and he bullied them, and they're all actors, all crisis actors. None of that we said. Again, you realize the fraud of these people? And if you become comfortable with this, we're going to lose. If you get pissed and get active and take action, we're going to win. I mean, these people are just beyond criminal. So here is the little blurb at the top of the article that's linked on drudgereport.com that everybody needs to get out, because this is the most censored story in the world. Not that Alex Jones is being censored, not that I'm being liable to slander, not that they have an organized crime operation they admit to shut us down first to set the precedent for everybody else ahead of 2018. And the same thing in Europe to stop nationalism. It's a global war against free speech and self-determination. They are launching the true takeover of the internet, internet ID, internet social score, tracking, all the way to being completely banned, which is mark of the beast, revelation. Whether you believe in God or not, they've taken it as a model of control. I mean, this is so epic, and I can't believe that my name and my organization is to be crucified as the example of it, and they admit to open the door for everyone else, and their main target, DrudgeReport.com and Matt Drudge. Their main target, the #1 website in the world. Not the #1 news site. They say it's #2 after MSM and stuff, but that's all their emails and fake garbage and bots. No, Drudge, there's no bots with Drudge. It's #1. And they say, we want him. We want his URL blocked in Europe. We want it blocked here. We want it blocked on Twitter. We want it blocked on Facebook. We want it blocked. So, see, I'm only the hors d'oeuvre. Hey, let's see if we can eat Alex because he's a bully, close quote, and not even show it to these idiots. Thank God they're so dumb. Remember, Gruber, you didn't build your business. Remember that. Remember the arrogance. We'll say he did all this. We'll ban him, and then all the dominoes will fall. And then they get hundreds of publications to line up and not quote me and say, Jones bullied small children, that asshole, and we're banning him right now. Isn't that great? Proud day for America, standing up people that hurt children. Thank you, George Soros, for warning us about him. You said you did what you had to do serving Hitler. We understand. We'll stop that Nazi Alex Jones. Wow. I mean, this is an exciting time to be alive, and it's all about 2018 and crushing nationalism, and they're turning it on. And we got to get the messages of the president. We've got to have antitrust suits against Google and others. We've got to have more people inside, like Project Veritas expose them. Beautiful job. And I do, in closing, before Owen Shroyer comes in here, I do call on all of you in anonymous of every race, color, and creed that love free speech. It's time for Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, CNN especially. They are a total globalist combine of deception. It's time to legally and lawfully expose them. And that just means go to their town halls, record them scripting things. It's so easy to devastate these people. And besiege them peacefully. Just go to their town halls, go to their events, go intern for them, blah, blah, blah. If you're Democrats that know this is evil, you've got the good backstory and you have conscience that know this is dangerous, we need you. We need you to infiltrate. They've tried to infiltrate us. 6 years ago, it was in Politico that they did have people infiltrate Infowars and Fox and, try to set people up and stuff. I'll say it. I'm pretty pious. I'm not perfect, so they weren't able to set me up. By the grace of God, they sure as hell tried. And, I mean, it's on. It's on. So you have the power. You have the will to go to the town halls and speak out, to go to the city councils, any platform. Just call C-SPAN. Just keep doing it. We're going to probably launch some more operations, to get on the news, like Bill Clinton's a rapist and, CNN's raping the truth, CNN's fake news. If you get excited and take action, we win. If you don't, we all lose. And they've miscalculated trying to censor everybody and lie about everybody because they're not in full air superiority yet. Yes, on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the Google, all this, they're trying to ratchet us down, but it's all just coming out in other areas. And I can tell you, in fact, my daughter even sent me the image. It was on her mom's phone. But the point is that she's in high school now, and she goes to other high school events at other high schools. And now she always begs me to go to this high school event with her, go to this high school event with her, because, it's fun for her status. It's like rock star level. And I'm not bragging about me. It shows that with the youth, truth is popular. And I hate to even give intel out, but I already did this and they figured it out. They ran all these evil memes against me over the years trying to make fun, and I went along with it and liked it. That introduced all the young people, and now they're all listening every day. And when I say all, I mean most of the young males are watching almost every day. And the girls are watching as well. And and I'm not as big as a Paul Watson with the youth or probably am, but or like a PewDiePie or something. But what we're getting at here is no weapon formed against us shall prosper. And you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't unlearn what people know. And I believe the Streisand effect is going to kick in here. It already has hugely. But I'm not an arrogant person, and I'm not self-assured because I know how things work. And they're doing this in preparation for fake criminal charges or my death. And just listen, it's not a defeat if that happens. Let's just move forward. knowing that you're the key to the Infowar. You're the reason we're here. And just to understand that they've chosen my destruction as the beginning of their victory. And I know at a spiritual level, it is the beginning of their defeat. And so I don't just say this to come off as like strong or whatever. It's not strong. It's because I'm weak and I love God. I am very blessed and very honored to be in this position. And I'm ready for whatever God's plan is. I just feel bad that I've not been strong enough when I've had such a platform and I could have done a better job. So I feel guilty that I haven't done a good enough job for you. And I also feel very sad, you know, for people out there that who haven't been reached and just are caught in this. They're such victims. I mean, Millie Weaver was out in Denver with an Infowars flag on her mic. The video is Gay Frogs Go Crazy. And they just begin screaming, gay frogs, he's a liar. And she's like, atrazine here. But the men looked like in horror movies where the alien sucks 90% of your soul, like Dark Crystal. They've got little slaves that have their soul sucked. And I don't feel powerful over these people that they're such slaves and so decimated. I feel really bad. I mean, it's not fair to call these men feminist or emasculated or effeminate. Women aren't, in my experience, aren't weak. They're strong in their energy and everything. I mean, I seek out the feminine energy. That's what I like. I'm not somebody that really even hangs out with men. But the whole point is that these men are gone. They are not men. And they are infantile. They are arrested development. They are scrambled. They are gibbering. And they keep saying, Alex is going to get people killed. They just say this over and over again. And what they are is ultra nerds who want to run society. And I noticed she's out there like 2 o'clock in Denver. None of these men are working either. They just think they're going to get a bunch of free stuff if they go along with the power structure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've made a lot of the points I wanted to make, but this is the main assault. This is the big one. This is where they just lie about what you've said and then put it out. This is where they come after everybody. We're going to go to the first video they banned. This is multiple witnesses report multiple shooters. Then Owen's going to come in and cover this. I'll be back live tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. He's going to go for a few hours. We've got a boil down of what Watson said yesterday that I want to air as well. And then we're also going to air some of the other clips. But in closing, I have the articles right here. We already showed them. We broke that there were multiple shooters because that's what people said. It was on local news. But we broke it nationally. We broke that the sheriff's deputy stood down, and now it's not 4, it's not 5. It's going to be 10. That's what a witness said. It was like 10 cars. They all just stayed outside for a long time. In fact, they didn't go in for ever, basically, for 30 minutes plus. That's all going to come out. Total stand down of the sheriff's department. FBI stood down. They were warned. We had that interview last weekend with the guy that called the FBI. That's in the Wall Street Journal today. See, they know when they can't hold stuff back anymore, they've got to report on it. But they would have never had to report if Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com and NewsWars.com and DrudgeReport.com weren't there. And that's why they're so mad. Not that we're fake news, but because we're real news. And we're trying to do the best job we can and trying to figure out what's going on. We told you all about Vegas first, you name it. You get next year's news today. We told you Trump was going to win. We told you about fluoride in the water giving you brain cancer and bone tumors and everything else. It's all admitted now. They're trying to take it out of the water. You know, we told you about the human-animal hybrids they're now announcing because we got our head in the books here and in the world and on the street. And I've done an hour and 4 minutes here and haven't plugged. I want to thank the crew coming in and missing their one day off, a lot of them to come in here. And I want to just say that we're selling out of the fluoride-free fortified with colloidal silver and iodine toothpaste. We're selling out all the other high-quality products at InfoWarsStore.com that have been 50% off, 53% off, because I had been so busy the last few weeks, I haven't come up with new specials. And Tim's like, listen, it'll be months till we get a lot of these products back in. If you go back to regular price, we'll actually fund the operation. You need to come up with a new special. If not, it's going to sell out. We'll just be out of it for months. Well, I take advantage of it. And I'd get the pollen block, and I'd get the fluoride-free toothpaste super blue, and I'd get the Icarin liver and kidney cleanse. I get 53% off Cell Force. That's about to end. That's about to sell out. 25% off Brain Force. Get books, videos, T-shirts of the month. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. 888-253-3139. And whatever you do, pray for us. Spread the links. And at least take the time out to go look at what Owen Schroyer said. They're really scared of him because he's young, he's smart, he's doing really great. And they can see his growth curve to be a new apprentice, younger and more powerful. So they don't know what to do, and they're really pissed. And they've gone in. We got 7 strikes right now. That's enough on some of the channels to completely shut them down. They hadn't done it yet. They've shut down uploads. They've shut down live feeds on some of them. But they don't know what to do. They're like right at the edge going, man, we lied. He didn't do this. George Soros is telling us what to do. CNN, we gave him access into his private account. That's criminal, folks. They said we were given access into his account. I've got him on video. I mean, imagine tortious interference if I was involved in CNN's documents trying to shut them down. I mean, it's unbelievable. And because of Drudge and because of you and because of everybody, they don't know what to do. They had launched that yesterday. They got 7 strikes. They went and filed 7 of them. It's CNN. But only because they admitted it's them. They get to, accusers get to make stuff up, and then you don't even get to see what it is, and the public doesn't even get to see what it is because they ban it. See, it's the perfect Kafka-esque 1984 system. And they think I'm like them. That, monetarily, we bet Alex toes the line now. All these articles, I bet he shuts his damn mouth. Oh, about the stuff I didn't say? You think I care about money? You think I care? I don't care about money to fight you. I don't care about my life to fight you. All these so-called men, these cowardly psychopath control freaks like Como and Stelter and all the lying White House reporters, just all of you are the opposite of what I want to be. You're dishonorable trash, and you know you are. Jake Tapper, I mean, that is not, by the way, the crazy photo of him. Let me get my phone here. I'm going to pull you the real one that you guys can't find online. I'm going to pull this sucker for you right now. And I'm going to get this baby for you. Because we looked for this the other day and they couldn't find it. But you know what? I'm going to have my little cake and eat it too. And I'm going to pull up my little Brian Stelter. And I'm going to show it to everybody. Because this is the real Brian Stelter right here. This particular psycho face he's got is unbelievable. Let me load it once it's ready. Here we go. Should come up soon. Doesn't matter how many hours it takes, we're going to have it. Doesn't matter how long, I'm going to have my precious. Because I want you to see the true face of evil. Let me see here. Who did I send that to? This is where I think they took it down or something. Doesn't matter how many hours we're going to have it. Doesn't matter how long. So, you know, you see something, you have something, you want it, you want to be able to show it to people. What we're going to do is we're going to go to this tape. No, that's not the photo. That's not it. That's not it. I just until we get it, no more. We're weeks into this. I sent the photo a month ago, and so I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I will have it, though. And so the point is that today I will have it. So it's going to happen. Anyways, we're exposing the fraud. We're exposing the lie, and they know, and they're dead already. They're politically over, and this is them trying to pull us into the grave with them. So let's go to the video they don't want you to see. Now over 7 million views on our own platform, these 2 videos, of what he really said. This is bullying children, what you're about to see. No, it's accurate, and that's why they don't want you to see it. Here it is.
Owen Schroyer, and we have been monitoring the details as they're breaking with the Florida shooting. This is something that's not fun to cover. It's not fun to try to get all these details and then report on them, especially when you know people are going to say you're crazy, even though you're just reporting on eyewitness testimonies. This is just what we have to do, because you'll notice that mainstream media, and I won't criticize Fox because at least some hosts over there are still on the Vegas shooting cover-up. We'll see what happens tonight on Fox News if they choose to report on the videos that we are going to air here today that indicate multiple shooters, at least eyewitness reports of multiple shooters at the Florida shooting, including one testimony of a senior at Marjorie Stoneman High saying that she was actually leaving the scene or fleeing the scene while there was a shooting happening, and she was next to Cruz, who was not shooting. So here's this eyewitness testimony.
We're going to back it up. Now, this is Stelter. He does these psycho faces. The point is he puts this out thinking this is cool. That's my point. All right. Back to Owen Schroyer and the band information that he's coming in. Great job, crew. Please stay with us. They're coming for your rights. They're coming for your free speech. They're coming to steal the election 2018. It's up to you, America, if you want to beat the globalists. Because they want your kids. They want your life. They want to run everything. They're control freaks, and they must be defeated. Yes, bingo. There it is. That's his real face. That's the true face of evil. That's the predator. That's the guy preying on the truth. That's the enemy right there. Okay, let's go back to Owen Schroyer. Thank
you. Who was walking with Cruz, fleeing the scene of the shooting while the shooting was still happening.
I actually was in the bathroom at the moment, and I came back to my classroom, and I knocked on the door, and the fire alarm went off, and principal came on the speaker and just said, everyone needs to evacuate right now. So that's what we did. As I was going down the stairs, I heard a couple shots fired. Everyone was freaking out, saying that it was a gun. And
you know what?
As we were walking...
Pause it right there. See, this is why this is so difficult. Because every time you hear something and then you cross-reference it with everything else you're hearing, you connect dots and you find out that something doesn't add up. Like, for example, she's saying she's knocking on the door before the fire alarm went off, and apparently they were being told to evacuate before they even had the code red, which was the shooter code, being alerted. But why would they be telling people to evacuate if there was a shooter going on? So again, I'm not saying she's lying. I mean, obviously she was in a traumatic situation. It's just like you try to absorb all of this information, and some of it doesn't make sense. And it's like, well, what does that mean? So let's go back to her witness account.
Us together, I actually was speaking to the suspect, Nicholas Cruz. And as I was speaking to him, he seemed very... I don't know what the word I want to say is, but he was trouble in middle school, so I kind of joked to him about it and said, I'm surprised you weren't the one who did it, and he just gave me a huh? So that's really what happened.
You were walking down the hall. He had already fired at that time.
Yes, sir, with him.
Weren't you scared?
In the moment, I wasn't, because there was definitely another shooter involved, but...
Oh, you think he was not the only one?
No, definitely not.
Why do you say that?
All right, so bring that down. We're gonna cover more of this obviously throughout the show, and we'll play these clips throughout the show too. It's just, I mean, I'm in no man's land with this. Because, again, just like the Vegas shooting, nothing adds up. And you don't want to report the wrong thing. You don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to offend anybody. You just have to report what you're seeing. Again, if she's walking out of the school, fleeing the scene with Nick Cruz just after the alarm went off, then you would say it wasn't even him. But everyone thought it was him. He doesn't seem to be saying it wasn't him. He's been, arrested. He doesn't seem to be fighting it. It's just a weird deal, and it's very tragic. So we just try to sort out and find out what's real.
Holy shit.
Oh my God!
So those are the sights and sounds from a recording inside the school yesterday during the Florida shooting in Parkland, Florida. And we are just trying to figure out what's going on. We've got multiple eyewitnesses reporting multiple shooters. You've got what seems to be the perfect patsy in Nicholas Cruz. Now they're coming out, obviously, as we expect, demonizing the Second Amendment and saying that Cruz was a white supremacist. So this is what is breaking right now. As I said, though, we've got multiple eyewitness reports saying there are multiple shooters. And Infowars.com has the story on the shooter that may have had mental issues and was indeed on pharmaceutical drugs. This is an individual that was adopted. This was an individual who had already lost his adopted father and just his mother months ago. He was always troubled. He was setting off fire alarms in junior high school that got him kicked out. He then also got kicked out of his high school for disciplinary reasons. He was not allowed to bring a backpack into school because he was deemed as a threat. Apparently, he had made jokes or direct threats about coming to the school and shooting it up. Students joked about how if it ever happened, it would be him. The FBI was made aware in September that he had made threats to the school. Now, before we get into the multiple shooters, at least the eyewitness reports of multiple shooters, think about this. They always say, see something, say something. Well, people saw something and they said something to the FBI. And what did the FBI do? Apparently nothing. But I guess maybe we should go easy on the FBI, considering they've really got their hands full right now with the Trump-Russia collusion narrative. The FBI doesn't have time to investigate potential domestic terror threats, you see, because they're too busy investigating a fake story that is Trump-Russia collusion. So maybe if the FBI could prioritize itself and quit wasting taxpayer dollars and their time on investigating a story that everyone knows is fake, Trump-Russia collusion, and maybe investigate some of these domestic terror threats they've been warned about, maybe you could stop something like this. But that's not what we get. And actually, we do have stories where mass shootings may have been avoided, and we will get to those in a minute. Now people are being arrested for posing with their rifles online, and that is something that's being pushed for now by the police force there in Florida. They were also pushing for more funding, just like what we saw in Vegas. But now let's go to clip 19. This is a student and eyewitness who firsthand was witnessing the shooting and the carnage there, reporting multiple shooters.
All the kids to go outside so they could start shooting up. So they started shooting from the first floor up, because there's only 2 exits in the freshman building, so everybody started running.
So I'll pause it right there. Pause right there. See, this is why it's so difficult. She says that they start shooting at the first floor up, but all other reports say that the shooter was on the 3rd floor. So again, she could be misremembering, maybe mishearing. I don't know. I'm just trying to lay all this out and flesh all this out. So was the shooter ever on the 1st floor? Was it always on the 3rd floor? Did they start at the 1st floor? Were they in the stairwell? Obviously, the shooter pulled the fire alarm to get people into the hall. There was a drill that day. The teachers had been talking about training for mass shooter drills. Apparently, Secret Service has been in there warning them about this. Let's go back to this eyewitness.
People started coming up, so everybody, and then I thank God to this teacher who opened up her door and let all of us in. She got shot in the arm trying to open the door, and then the other teacher, he got shot in the head trying to cut the other students, and it was like an hour, like it felt like years waiting for them. And then after all that, we finally got out, and like they started yelling at us to keep focused and pay attention ahead, the army people, because they didn't want us to see the bodies that they hid in the...
Now pause it right there. A lot of people are saying that that's very indicative that she says the army people, that the army was on the scene so quickly that indicates there may have been a drill going on, and that would be why the army was there. Again, I'm just reporting on what's being reported out there. When you talk about these army drills and you talk about these army troops and them being on the scene so fast, people are saying that indicates that there may have been a drill going on. Let's go back.
Hats over them so we wouldn't see them, but there was dust all over the floor from this weird thing they threw in there. They're trying to.
So you think there was more than? Do you think there was more than one
There's
shooter?
3 shooters.
She says 3 shooters, definitely.
How terrifying! Hold on one second, Mal. How terrifying!
It was pretty damn terrifying because they were putting us through drills, and we all thought this was a drill. We thought this was a drill, but it wasn't. And then we just started hearing the gunshots, and it was really terrifying because my class, the class I ran into, he started shooting through the door, and he came through, and he started shooting the cabinets, and that's when he shot the teacher. And then he ran back outside to shoot the other teacher who was closing the other door for the kids, but he didn't get to close the door, and he was just there. And so we were all just sushing each other, like, shut up, just suck it up if you're crying, because we're not trying to get shot. Because he was in the hallway yelling, hey, hey, trying to taunt us and get us to say things, trying to get us outside. And that's when some other kid, like, he ran out because he thought it was free, but he got shot, and then we heard the groaning outside, and we couldn't do anything.
Well, so the shooter, tell me, besides, hey, what was he saying during
He wasn't doing anything. He was legit, he just ran up the stairs, started shooting, and you could see a bunch of kids just going down that way, but stopping, because the other shooter was coming. So everybody was screaming and stuff.
The other, so pause right there. Okay, so this is key. She says that the shooter, I mean, I wish she could talk about whether the shooter had a gas mask on or not. I didn't hear a comment on that. So the shooter, according to this eyewitness, is coming up the stairs to the 3rd floor and then shooting at people, and then people are running the opposite direction when, again, according to this eyewitness, people stopped and started running back because another shooter was on the other side of the hall. She says something interesting again later in this interview. Let's go on.
Because they were like, hey, do you hear that loud banging sound? And we all thought it was like some kid joking on the stairwell because they're hollow, so you could just hit a stick and it sounds like it. But then we all were like, oh, this is real. So we all just started running. It was really bad.
Now, one student told me that the shooter was wearing a bulletproof vest and a helmet. Did you see that?
I saw some other kid. When the other kid who came into the classroom.
Some other kid.
He was wearing some type of thing, and I don't know. But it was like, I froze at that moment because you never know, because when the gun is like pointed towards you and the thing, you don't know what to do. And you kind of just like pause and you're just like, is this actually going to happen? But I felt like he was going after all the teachers because a bunch of teachers got shot. But any of the kids who were in the way, they got shot.
All right. Is that the end of that video? Did I miss it? Because there's another part in that video where she talks about the Army people picking people up and putting them in a corner under mats. Did anyone else hear that, or are we missing a part of this clip? I may have to listen to that again in the break. Okay, so we've got that clip. There is also a moment where she's talking about her experience walking through the hallway after the event, and she says that the Army people are picking up the victims that are strewn about the hall that got shot, putting them in a corner and putting a mat over them. Now, folks, you don't have to be an expert at crime scene analysis to know that's not how that's handled ever. That makes no sense. Why would you be moving the bodies into a corner and placing them under a map when you know that this is an active crime scene and that investigators are going to be there later investigating it and analyzing it? So what's up with that? Is that just a mistake? Or was there some other reason why that went down? We're going to have more on the Florida shooting on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the War Room. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer, on this Thursday, February 15th, 2018. These are the tough times to be covering news, to have to think about the families and the people down there that have to deal with this, and to unfortunately have to come out here and be controversial in reporting the fact that multiple eyewitnesses have said there were multiple shooters. Now, I missed this the first time we played the clip, so I want to go back and play it again just so you can hear it. This is that last eyewitness we heard from in the last segment talking about the Army people pulling bodies from the hall and stacking them in a corner, which is very strange considering it's an active crime scene. Go ahead and roll that clip.
They got out and they started yelling at us to keep focused and pay attention ahead, the Army people, because they didn't want us to see the bodies that they hid in the corner. They were putting mats over them so we wouldn't see them, but there was dust all over the floor from them.
Okay, so pause it there. In fact, you can just pull that one down because we'll go to the next eyewitness here. So she's saying that the Army people were telling them to look forward so they couldn't see the bodies, they hid in the corner that they were covering with mats. Now, again, obviously these eyewitnesses went through a very traumatic situation. Maybe their accounts aren't entirely accurate, but if you take them at their word, you have to wonder what actually happened inside of that school, because the official narrative does not jive with these eyewitness reports. And again, why is the Army on the scene so soon afterwards? Is that standard? It doesn't seem standard. Maybe it is. I know what's not standard. That's moving bodies, stacking them up and hiding them and putting mats over them on an active crime scene. That is not normal. Here's a story at Infowars.com. Responders throw body bag in back of truck amid Florida shooting. And as Kit Daniels points out in this article, that again does not go along with standard protocol. So now let's go to this other eyewitness who said not only that there are multiple shooters, but that she was actually fleeing the scene with the suspect, Nicholas Cruz, while the shooting was still going on. Clip 9.
I actually was in the bathroom at the moment, and I had came back to my classroom, and I knocked on the door, and the fire alarm went off, and principal came on the speaker and just said, everyone needs to evacuate right now. So that's what we did. As I was going down the stairs, I heard a couple shots fired. Everyone was freaking out, saying that it was a gun. And as we were walking, the whole class together, I actually was speaking to the suspect, Nicholas Cruz. And as I was speaking to him, he seemed very, I don't know what the word I want to say is, but he was trouble in middle school, so I kind of joked to him about it and said, I'm surprised you weren't the one who did it. And he just gave me a huh? So that's really what happened.
You were walking down the hall. He had already fired at that time.
Yes, sir, with him.
Weren't you scared?
In the moment, I wasn't, because there was obviously definitely another shooter involved, but...
Oh, you think he was not the only one?
No, definitely not.
Why do you say that?
Because when shots were fired, I saw him after the fact. So, and the shots were coming from the other part of the building. So there definitely had to be two shooters involved, I believe.
That's the first I've heard of that. Did you see any other students who were wounded?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back live here. And that was a clip, actually, those segments from the War Room were actually from probably the day after the shooting, the school shooting in Florida. Welcome back to this special Infowars live broadcast on a Saturday. Owen Schroyer now live with you. Alex has left the building to take care of some other business. With all of the censorship going on here, they're trying to shut us down on YouTube now. But we played those last videos, which were, I believe, from the day after the shooting. And that's just, and obviously a lot more details have surfaced since then. And it's funny listening to that, you know, how I was asking, like, oh, it sounds like maybe the shooter was on multiple floors. And then the new reports come out and it's like, oh, yeah, that was the case. They weren't going to report on that anywhere else. See, they're not looking for information. They're just trying to say what is, you know, politically correct and what is comfortably confirmed. You know, don't look over here. Just look back over here. Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. But there's also clips from this week that they take and they played on the Jordan Kellerson show. I can't even remember the guy's name. And they say, oh, here he is saying that they're using there. Yeah, there it is. The opposition. And he says that I'm saying they're crisis actors. But this is the strangest thing about this. It's like that the actual times when I'm talking about this and I'm saying that the students are actors, I very specifically say that I'm not saying they're crisis actors. So this is like beyond deception. This is intentional lying, misrepresenting, twisting, and dehumanizing. I mean, so here we go. Here's Schroyer saying specifically they're not crisis actors, and then here's Jordan Kellerson saying he says they're crisis actors. And then he puts the graphic on the image bar to make you, oh, it's like confirmation. No, it's visual confirmation. Yes. Oh, he never actually said they were crisis actors. In fact, he said he's saying they're not crisis actors. But don't you see? We know how to use propaganda, and we know how to manipulate your senses. So we're going to flash crisis actors in red with flashing lights behind it, and then that's going to visually confirm what I said that never actually happened. And that's how their propaganda works. Now, that's a comedy show. That's a Comedy Central show. But they know that they have their viewers and their audience so dumbed down. I mean, that's them. They are the fake news, and all of them are fake people. Look at this guy. He's got stacks of news on his desk. You know how many news articles he read that day? He didn't read one. All he did was read off a teleprompter and had his crew clip some clip from something we do at Infowar so that he can misrepresent it and then lie about us. Oh, but that's comedy. And then their audience is so dumb, they think it's real. But there's actually like another layer to this, because if you go back years ago and you actually used to watch The Daily Show and The Colbert Report, like 8 years ago, you would watch that. And even though it was funny and it was comedy, there actually was like a hint of truth. And that's what made it funny. That's why they were successful. That's why people enjoyed those shows. Because it wasn't partisan. It wasn't about party lines or politics. It was about, hey, take something that's actually true and then twist it and kind of put a different angle to it and make it funny. And that's what they used to do. So you kind of at least had a sense of something that was real, even though you knew it was comedy and they were just making fun of the whole process. Now, they make things up, there's no truth, and then they play a laugh track behind it and act like they're successful. How long is the opposition with Jordan Clarkson going to last? Jordan Clarkson's a basketball player. Hey, what's the guy's name, guys? I forget his name. Jordan Klepper. Thank you. Jordan Klepper? Anyway, the show is... what is it? What is Putin? Putin what? Comrade Kepler. Yes. Okay.
Yes, you say Jordan Kepler.
Jordan, agent of Crimea. Jordan Kepler. How long is his show going to last? 20 years like the Alex Jones show? Doubt it. Did Kepler build his own platform? No. He rode in on the coattails of Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart. And he's not even funny. But it's like, okay, so now it's like, here's how we covered it. Here's what we said, ends up all coming true. And then you fast forward to the next week and we're like, all right, now we've got this new angle. We've got all the evidence. We've got all the proof. I mean, they brag about how they're in the plays and then they're on television. You've got them giving speeches and they literally have the drama club logo on their shirt. I mean, and then so then I say, hey, look, just pointing it out, they're actors. And then they all lie and they say, Infowar says that they're crisis actors. And then you go and you watch the whole segment and they all are in the drama club, they're actors. I'm not saying they're crisis actors, I'm saying they're actors. But they don't play the whole clip. They just take a little piece of it and they know that their audience is so dumbed down that they can deceive them. So okay. So now this is all out there and they're attacking us and they're trying to ban us. They're saying we're bullying kids and all the like. But this is the most twisted, satanic, like crazy part about it is they attack us for things we didn't do. But wait a second. Let's not forget,
See, this is where we are weak. But this is what happens because they ignore these stories. Project Veritas exposed the Democrat Party. Okay, yeah, James O'Keefe's exposed Twitter, exposed YouTube, exposed the Washington Post, exposed the New York Times. Okay, so fine. He exposes all of them. Okay, we know about them. They're a bunch of radical leftists that want to ban us and censor free speech. Okay, we found out about that. Okay, so that's one angle. That's the private sector. But what about the Democrat Party? What about Bob Kramer at the DNC? What about Aaron Black at the DNC? What about these people that have been caught admitting on tape that they foment violence in the streets, that they lie and push propaganda campaigns to misrepresent Trump and conservatives? Where is the outrage? Where is the call for the Democrat Party to get shut down? Where is the call for Twitter to be shut down for what they talk about and how they manipulate their whole platform? Where is the call for the New York Times and the Washington Post that admit how biased and partisan they are? Where is the call? Where is the outrage? No, the outrage is at Infowars because they dare be bold, because they dare be challenging, because they dare have the guts to report the truth. And so, oh, the Democrat Party gets totally exposed and Bob Kramer loses his job. I mean, where's the investigation into Aaron Black, who had a riot started in Chicago? They had to shut down a private event. Where's an investigation into that? Oh, but block Infowars. So here we are, and we're in the midst of a, okay, so here's the deal. We're going to take your phone calls. Here's the phone number, 1-877-789-2539, 1-877-789-ALEX. And I'm going to take your phone calls on the censorship on the Florida shooting. But you know what? Let me just give a boil down to the Florida shooting before we take your calls. Because there's been so much information now, and it's hard to honestly digest it in proper fashion because there's an information overload, and then you get into this zone and this mentality that's like absorb and then report, and then you kind of forget where your priorities need to be and what you need to report. So again, it's like they're outraged over something we didn't say. Here's the Democrat Party literally causing riots in the streets of Chicago, and we're the bad guys. Okay, so here's the Florida shooting. The Florida shooting, I mean, where do you really begin? The whole, here's the background though. Here's the background about the Florida shooting that needs to be understood. It's a distraction. It's a great tragedy. It's horrible, but it's a distraction. The liberal media and the Democrat Party uses events like this and tragedies to push their political agenda every time. And so then, because they're lying about things and they're politicizing things, in a natural, instinctual reaction, we respond. And so then it becomes the battlefield of the body politic for that week or for that month or whatever it is. So we're sitting here battling out this Florida shooting, which, I mean, you know, it's a tragedy. It's a horrific thing. And they want to politicize it and they want to lie about it. And then they want to say that's what we're doing. But so what happens in Florida? Okay. So you've got Nicholas Cruz, who is a troubled individual. He's on pharmaceutical drugs. He's been to counseling. He's had a history of disciplinary problems at his middle school, at his high school. I mean, you're talking like over 50 disciplinary issues with this kid. Then you're talking about a guy who had, outside of school, talked of threats and brandished his weapons essentially to intimidate people, bragged about it. So much to the point where he has officers called to his house. They had to, look into him multiple times for multiple calls to his house. He was reported to the FBI. I think even multiple reports to the FBI. So here's Nicholas Cruz, clearly on the FBI's radar, or should be on the local law enforcement's radar, on the entire high school's radar. And so then what happens? Well, he snaps, I guess is the theory. He snaps and he goes and shoots up his high school. And then he says he's hearing demonic voices. The voices told him to do it, but he's sorry. Okay. So that's the actual event of Nicholas Cruz. And he goes and shoots up the school. But somehow he buys a gun, even though he should have failed about 5 different parts of the background check. Domestic abuse, addicted to drugs, history of violence. Okay, all of those things were known about Cruz. Law enforcement knew that about Cruz. The FBI knew about Cruz. And you cannot pass this background check until the FBI passes you. Somehow he still passes. And so now this individual who's been warned to authorities multiple times passes the background check. Okay, but we're still having a debate over gun control instead of the background check that failed, the system that failed. So we're going to give more power to the system that failed us. And then what do we find out? Not only is he on the FBI's radar, not only is he on local law enforcement's radar, now you've got cops at the scene while the event is going on, standing down. Standing down. Yeah. What? Okay. There's drills going on that day. They're training teachers for mass shooting drills. Some of the students hear that they're going to be doing a shooting drill, and they're going to pretend that people are there, hurt and screaming, and it's all part of a drill. Okay, so don't report on that. Ignore that. It's all about gun control. And if you don't want to talk about gun control, if you want to talk about something else with the shooting and not gun control, then you're bullying the kids. Because that's all the kids want to talk about is gun control. This is breaking right now. The Democrats are about to release their counter memo, so we'll get into that in a minute. And we're going to take your phone calls here, 1-877-789-ALEX, 1-877-789-ALEX. But so we're reporting on it. You get these strange reports of multiple shooters. You now have strange reports about some confusion over the security video. You have all the weirdness about the FBI standing down, the local law enforcement standing down. And so this is all the weirdness, and we're just reporting on it. And we've got all the people that are the mouthpieces now of the liberal media, of the Democrat Party, pushing for gun control, the high school students, and they all happen to be in the drama department. I mean, that are going and doing all these interviews, and we say, hey, look, they're here, they're actors, they're in the drama department, and then they say, oh, you're bullying them, and you're saying they're crisis actors, so we have to shut you down. I mean, this is the Twilight Zone. So here we are. And it doesn't matter that CNN is caught lying every day. It doesn't matter that the Democrat Party is caught essentially staging riots for Hillary Clinton during Trump rallies. No. That's no big deal. Don't shut them down, the Democrat Party. Don't shut the Democrat Party down. Let them continue to operate as the, one of the biggest political parties, I guess you would say second biggest right now in the United States. Total into the power structure. Don't worry about them and how they foment violence. Don't worry about them and how they smash servers. Don't worry about them and how they get hacked all the time and phished all the time and all their personal information gets out there. Don't worry about the Democrats having classified information on private servers that were illegal. No. See, you need to worry about Infowar because they are reporting on the Florida shooting instead of just outright calling for gun control. And so that's what we're dealing with. And so they want to ban us, and this is what they do. But again, see, it's all a distraction. It's all a distraction because what's going to happen? This will be the political battlefield for probably about a month. And then what's going to happen? You know what the solution already is? The solution's already been decided. Armed guards in the schools. The Florida government's already decided it. Trump said it's going to be a state issue. This is what we're going to do. And that's the only thing you can do as a response to this. It takes a long time to pass legislation in this country. That's how this country was designed. So as a solution to the problem, we're going to start putting armed security on these campuses and maybe not have cowards that don't want to go in and protect the students. So the solution has already been decided, but it was never about solutions. It was always about gun control. So they create this battlefield. They spin it so much that it has a gravitational force, and the entire cycle and current event seems to be surrounding a Florida shooting, even though it's a terrible tragedy. It's awful. It's horrible. But honestly, it's nothing in the big picture. It's nothing. It's just like the Joker said in The Dark Knight. As soon as, 100 kids die in the Middle East from a bombing, 100 people die in Syria from a bombing. Oh, that's just part of the plan. But 17 kids in America die from a shooting. Everybody has to freak out, and it's the #1 story because it's not part of the plan. But it is part of the plan now because they take it, they spin it, and they turn it into their agenda to take the guns, and they don't even care about solutions. They never did. They don't care about people actually reporting on the event. They never did. They never wanted to report on it. They just wanted to push the agenda of gun control. So ignore the fact that you've got tensions in Iran and Israel mounting, and they're trying to take Netanyahu out of power. Ignore the fact that, those North Koreans that seem to be such a problem are now coming together with South Koreans, and they're, Kim Jong-un isn't tweeting about blowing up the United States or calling to blow up the United States anymore. Oh, just forget all the geopolitics that's going on right now. That's the really big issue here. Forget about the AI takeover and all of that. No. Just focus on this shooting because it's a gun control debate, and that's everything. That's all you should talk about. Ignore everything else going on and just focus on the Florida shooting. That's it, because it's all about gun control. And so ignore the GOP memo that shows treason at the highest levels of government. Ignore that we have all the proof of Russian influence in the election, and it's totally all on the Democrat side. Hillary Clinton paying for the dossier that's totally made up and fake. What were their intelligence sources? Russians. Mueller launches the Russian probe and then has 16 indictments of Russian entities and individuals. Who does he get that information from? A Russian source. So, hi, I'm Robert Mueller. I'm having a Russian probe, and I'm going to collude with Russia to get the answers. And then meanwhile, you got Russian pranksters pranking Adam Schiff, pranking other members of Congress, pranking people all across the board, trolling Americans, literally laughing at our media. Our media is like a punchline for them. It's like Saturday Night Live. They just troll it to death. And then the Democrats are so stupid, they don't even think, wow, maybe Christopher Steele just got trolled by Russians here, and they said, yeah, Donald Trump had a golden shower in this Russian hotel. Hey, maybe they're all like Adam Schiff. Maybe they're all getting trolled, and they're too stupid to know it. That's the incredible thing. So now here they are distracting from all of it. With the Florida shooting, with the Democrat memo, with Mueller's indictments, distracting from their crimes, distracting from their treason, distracting from the world, entering a new stage of foreign policy and a new world order and nationalism. Distract from all of it and then pretend like they're winning. We're winning the gun debate, but they're not. They're losing. They're just censoring anyone who disagrees with them and then acting like we're the liars, we're the insensitive ones. So now the Democrats have just released their 10-page counter memo. 10 pages. Oh my gosh. I might just have to read this on air. But we've got your phone calls coming up too. And we got the crew up here on a Saturday, folks. We don't even take days off here at Infowars. And it costs money to run these broadcasts because now we got to pay for all the bandwidth and everything, and we're firing out all cylinders here today, so we need your support at InfoWarsStore.com. We've got all kinds of specials going on right now, including on Super Blue, the entire line of the Super Blue products, which are 50% off, which are going to sell out. Specifically, the Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste is going to sell out soon. So if you're a fan of that, you need to get on that quick before we are out of that product. And again, 50% off Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste. We try to make it easy on you to support the InfoWar with household items that we know you're going to need. Everybody uses toothpaste, so why not support us and use the toothpaste that we produce without the bad halogen fluoride in there and with the good halogen nascent iodine in there, as well as the colloidal silver. So if you haven't tried Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, what are you waiting for? And don't forget about some of the other specials, including 50% off Liver Cleanse Icarin, 25% off Brain Force Plus. You've got the T-shirt of the Month Club, $19.99, and that is a special edition T-shirt, a new one every month. Yeah, there's Icarin right there, 50% off the new Icarin 30-day Liver Cleanse. And we've got a few handful of reviews in so far on this new product, all 5-star reviews. So once again, another product at InfoWarsStore.com that is just the real deal. All right. So I'm going to take your phone calls, but just my brief reading of this Democrat memo. It's a Democrat memo. Oh, yes. Who is it written by? Adam Schiff? Adam Schiff for brains? No, really, though, I do wonder who actually wrote this, because it's heavily redacted, and they don't even have an intro page like the Republican memo had on it. This is insane. Okay, so here's what it is, just my briefing. Just flipping through this real quick. Yeah, they don't even tell you who wrote it. They don't even tell you whose brainchild this is. It's from the HPSCI minority. So, you know, it's from the Democrats, the Swalwells, the Schiffs. And basically, it's just a total 100% response to the Republican memo saying it's fake. So they just take everything from the Republican memo and respond and just say it's fake. Let me just hit some of these highlights. Christopher Steele's raw intelligence reporting did not inform the FBI's decision to initiate its counterintelligence investigation in late July 2006. Do you realize how incredible this is? Do you realize the war that we're in right now? I mean, think about it. You've got Republicans and Democrats in Congress right now that are literally telling you polar opposites are reality. If this isn't the Twilight Zone in real life, somebody slap me silly. So the Nunes memo, the GOP memo from the majority intelligence in the House, the Republican Oversight Committee, I forget the name of it right now, they do their investigation and they find that in order to get the FISA warrant, they had to use the dossier. And then they used a Yahoo story from Michael Isikoff, who at one time protected the Clinton administration by spiking the Monica Lewinsky story. And then they used his story that he totally got from Steele. So Steele's fake reporting paid for by Clinton through the conduit Fusion GPS is how they were able to spy. But then the Democrats say Christopher Steele's raw intelligence, again, raw intelligence. What does that even mean? That means he was speaking to Russians. That means he got it from Russians. He was colluding with Russians to influence the election. Christopher Steele. And Clinton paid for him to do it. But the Democrats say that's not true. But here, you know what? Here's what I'm realizing reading this. Here's what they're doing with this. This was obviously written by a lawyer, because what they've done, at least so far, it looks like what they do here is they kind of make little twists. And they say the FBI's decision to initiate its counterintelligence investigation. Well, what so now they're saying the FBI had a counterintelligence investigation. That's what they're calling it now. A counterintelligence investigation. Who were they countering? Donald Trump. Americans. But they say it was for Russia. Do you see what they're doing here? They're totally twisting it and saying it's a counterintelligence investigation into Russia, even though it was totally just a spy on the Trump campaign. And so now they're saying the FBI and the special counsel's investigation into links between the Russian government and Trump campaign associates has been based on troubling law enforcement and intelligence information unrelated to the dossier. So when will we get that information? Where is that information? It doesn't exist. The Department of Justice, October 21st, 2016, FISA application and 3 subsequent renewals carefully outlined for the court a multi-pronged rationale for surveilling Page. So now here they are confirming the GOP memo, saying, yes, they renewed it 3 times, but they're saying, nope, they lied about it, though, about why they did it. This thing is so batty and twisted, it's mind-numbing. I mean, this is mind-numbing. It's so offensive to my intelligence. The committee's majority's memorandum, which draws selectively on highly sensitive classified information, includes other distortions and misrepresentations that are contradicted by the underlying classified documents, which the vast majority of members of the committee and the House have not had the opportunity to review, and which Chairman Nunes chose not to read himself. This is that is such a lie, it's not even funny. In fact, did you know that more Republicans actually, when they first made this memo available to the Congress, more Republicans read it than Democrats. Democrats didn't even show up to read it. See if you can find the story. I think it was back in, maybe this was from January 29th. They released this for Congress to read, and the Democrats didn't even show up to read it. The only people that actually read the Democrat memo were Republicans. And so then they say in this, we haven't had the opportunity to review the classified information, yet somehow they're psychic and they know that it has Trump colluding with Russia. So here they're saying, we know Trump colluded with Russia, but we haven't yet seen the classified documents, so we really don't know. And then again, they say that nobody has reviewed the classified documents here, but yet they somehow know what's in it. I'm telling you, this whole thing is just, it's just a counter memo. Think about that. What is a counter memo? That's nothing. That's a made up thing. A counter memo is literally made up. I mean, this is crazy. Man. FISA was not used to spy on Trump in his campaign, this thing says. Yeah, look, folks, here's what's going on here. They have now laid the battleground for the 2018 midterm elections. It's going to be all about gun control. It's going to be all about Trump-Russia collusion. And it's going to be about these battle memos. I mean, what do you call this? Memo war? I mean, what is this joke? A counter memo? You're a joke. You're just a joke. I'm going to have to do a more thorough review of this, and I'm sure that Alex is as well. And Alex will be live tomorrow, 4 to 6 p.m. Central here, as usual, the Sunday Jones Show. Hey, guys, see if you can find anyone that reported on the when the Democrats first released this memo for members of Congress to read, how Republicans were the only people that showed up for it. And that was multiple Republicans that I was listening to doing interviews, and they're like, look, we read the Democrat counter memo. We showed up the day they released it. There were no Democrats there. It was all Republicans. And so it's like, they don't even, do you know why the Democrats didn't show up to read their own memo? Is because they know it's bullcrap. So all of Mueller's indictments are yet to prove anything about Trump-Russia collusion. The only Russian collusion that's been proved with evidence is between Hillary Clinton, Fusion GPS, and Christopher Steele and the Democrat Party. And so then they release a quote-unquote counter memo, a made-up thing that doesn't exist, a counter memo, which is basically saying, I'm just going to take everything you learned and just say it's fake and then call it a counter memo. Just like I'm going to make up a story here, a fairy tale, and then I'm going to call it a dossier. So the Democrats pay for people to get raw intelligence from Russians to then write a fairy tale fictional account of something that never happened and then call it a dossier. And then when that fails and blows up in our face, we're going to write a counter memo. Yes, a counter memo. What's a counter memo? Well, we made it up, see? But we're calling it a counter memo, and we're just going to try to discredit everything that they reported on in their memo, which is a memo. This is a counter memo. This is a counter memo, okay? We're countering their memo. And you know what's going to happen with this? You know what's going to happen with this counter memo, folks? This is going to blow up in their face just like the dossier. But they don't have a choice. They have to double down. They are totally against the ropes, and the only option they have is tricking the public, confusing everything in domestic politics, lying about their opposition, and then banning them so that the truth can't get out. But this is going to blow up in their face again. And if Republicans take the Congress, or people that just, if you have a wave of Republicans that take the Congress in the midterms that support Trump, the Democrat Party is dead. Because this is going to blow up in their face, this counter memo, and the dossier is going to blow up even more in their face. And all of the treason during the Obama years with Hillary Clinton in the State Department is going to be exposed. And this is why they have the fight of their lives right now. This is why they're trying to ban us. This is why they're trying to block us. This is why they're trying to dehumanize us. This is why they're writing dossiers and writing counter memos. This is why they're lying all day in the Democrat Party, lying all day on CNN and MSNBC, because this is the final battle. I mean, this is it. Either the left, the authoritarian, radical left, takes over America, Hitler style, with their propaganda and their brainwashing of the youth. So either the left has their Nazi Hitler revolution, or the right is able to save America from authoritarianism, from tyranny, and just maintain independence and sovereignty and its own nation. And that's where we're at. And the only reason they're having their Nazi takeover is so that they can get their one world government. Because once the left has their takeover, America will just collapse into a third world hellhole. Just look at California. So great, they want to collapse America into a third world hellhole so that you beg for the global government to come fix everything. And so the right says, no, let's stay independent. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of our own country. The Democrat says, you're a racist. You must be shut down. All right, let me go to your calls here. The crew's been here all day. They don't want to be here all night, too. And we've got callers waiting, and I could just babble on forever. So let's get some of these callers here. Let's just go down the line in the order that they called in, guys. So we start with Wild in Wisconsin. Go ahead, Wild. Do you want to talk about assault rifles?
Hi, Owen. I have a feeling, and I believe, that our assault rifle ban is connected with Boston Dynamics and other robots, where these robots can target, acquire, and fire in a fraction of a second using microphones, cameras, LiDAR, HD radar, and other sensors.
But what's the connection? What's the connection to the ARs?
The AR and other semi-auto rifles overwhelm the sensors, making the robot confused and susceptible. They need the ban to prevent efficient resistance.
Well, how much money does Boston Dynamics pour into the Democrat Party? I mean, I don't know how else you can try to prove what your theory is.
There's no necessarily proof, but if you look at the video of the robots and how they see, quote unquote, with radar, you can tell that semi-auto fire would overwhelm the sensors because they visualize not as much with cameras, but more so with radar. So the semi-auto fire confuses the radar system, specifically the LiDAR, LIDAR.
Yeah, but by that theory, couldn't any wild explosion or weapon trick the radar?
Not the problem with that is that the robots can fire back, like I said, in a fraction of a second. So the initial firing needs to be overwhelming.
Well, I'm not sure if I agree with you about the. I'm not sure if I agree with you about the Boston Dynamics angle, but I agree with your original point that they're trying to ban ARs. I think that's 100% factual. In fact, that's why I went and bought an AR this week, because I do think they're going to try to ban them. And I'm not saying it's going to happen this year or next year or in the next 8 years, but I mean, eventually they're never going to stop. See, that's the thing. The left is never going to stop their agenda ever. They're never going to stop. They have to be eliminated. You have to get rid of the Nancy Pelosi's. You have to stop voting for the Adam Schiffs, the Maxine Waters. The ideas of the left have failed every time, everywhere on this planet. So,
can I make another point?
Go ahead.
Why is it that after that North Korean defector ran across the demilitarized zone, within the same day we have the doctor with blood tests, surveillance footage, and a mannequin showing where he was shot with the angles of trajectory from the bullet, but yet we are not afforded the same luxury here in the U.S.?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Do you remember that North Korean defector with the worms in his stomach?
I don't know. I'd have to look into that. I'd have to look into that. Thank you for the call, Wild. Let's go to Travis calling in from Austin, Texas here. Go ahead, Travis.
Hey, Owen. I just wanted to plug first, if that's okay with you. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
So I've tried just about almost every product that y'all have. They're all excellent. The Alpha Power, if I don't get enough sleep the next day, I don't think I'd make it through without that. The Brain Force is really the one I wanted to talk about. I've had I'm diagnosed with ADHD. I've had every, Focalin, Ritalin, all of the pills that they give you at the highest milligram or amount that they can give you for quote-unquote ADHD. And they all turned me into a zombie. They all took away from my personality. I stopped taking them by choice about 7th grade. And recently, a few years ago, I heard of Brain Force right when it got launched, and I tried it. And I got to tell you, if anybody out there is listening to this and you have ADHD, get yourself on a nootropic. Get yourself on things like Brain Force. Hopefully it is Brain Force, because you are funding a great operation there at Infowar. You know that it's fighting for freedom. But I just want to recommend to people that have ADHD, please go out and get Brain Force. But also, Bill Hicks people, that think he's a CIA operative or whatever, even if he is, look at his fruits. Look at what he does. Okay, he's for freedom. He's for prosperity. He's for unity. He's for free market. Why wouldn't you want to support somebody like that? Go out and get yourself some Brain Force Plus.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with like saying Trump's a Russian bot or Trump's a Russian, operative or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, our stock market's booming. Jobless rates are falling to the lowest in decades. Unemployment the lowest in decades. Oh my gosh. I mean, this Russian. I mean, whoa. If the Russians want to make America great again, bring the Russians in. I mean, come on, love them.
Exactly. Please, more Russians, please, because they're doing great with our economy. Like, thank you for that.
Hell yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. If oh my gosh, if America teamed up with Russia, oh my gosh, it'd be the end of the world. No, it wouldn't. It'd be great.
Exactly. No. Yeah, exactly. It'd be great. And what Putin is promoting, with Christianity and wanting to have more children.
No, we can't have that. You're a human being. You're a piece of trash.
Of course, yeah.
That's what they say. No. Joy Reid on MSNBC said you can't have a family. What? You want to have a family and a religion? What kind of human trash are you?
Yeah, exactly, man. I told that to one of my friends who was just kind of starting to wake up a little bit, and he's American. And I told him that Joy Reid said that, and he was just gave me this crazy look, oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. I've got liberals in my family. They love their family. They love me. They're gonna hear. They're gonna. That's what I think. The liberals in the media have gone so insane that they don't even understand what they're saying doesn't resonate with their audience. That's why they stick on the Trump hate all day, because that's the only thing they know will resonate with their audience. And then when Joy Reid says, attacks the family, an average liberal's like, what? I love my family. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, exactly. But the great thing is that they're imploding themselves. It's like you always say, don't stop the enemy while they're destroying themselves. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Well, they're destroying our country in the process, though. That's the problem.
that is true, and we do need to do away with it because they are totalitarian. They want to take things by point of gun. Okay, that's what they want to do with all their taxes and all of this crap that they're pushing. They are totalitarians, and this needs to be ended. This is un-American. This is unconstitutional. And this is why I listen to you guys every day. All right, David Knight, you, Alex, you are all great. You know, the crew is amazing. I know y'all don't like saying thank you for what you do, but thank you for what you do, because we would not be here without you guys.
Let's get a look at the crew. Let's get a look at the great crew back there. Give me a crew cam. Say hello to the crew. I want to see the crew.
Like the offensive linemen in football, you know, they never get any of the praise, they never get any of the hype, but they're the ones who make the thing work. They're the reason why Le'Veon Bell goes 80 yards for a touchdown, you know, so that, you know, they're great. But I just wanted to talk about the censorship. I get censored on Twitter all the time. I get censored on Facebook, obviously, you know, shadow banned on Facebook, but it's worse than Twitter. And, you know, I'll get a few shares, a few likes, you know, here and there. And I know that a lot more people, you know, would agree with it because I see all my other friends' timelines. But anyways, I post that, but then I go to Gab and I post it. Same thing. And my feed just explodes. Like, I have all these notifications the next day. I'm like, holy crap, man. Like, wow. So that's where I come back to is with the censorship. I think that the free market will correct itself. I think that the free market will dictate it.
Well, that's true, but we got to maintain the market being free, and that's what they're trying to stop, and that is the key. The free market will always correct itself, but that's why they rig the market, and that's what they're doing right now with their monopolies. But wow, guys, Travis from Austin just calls in. You heard him. He was being censored by Facebook and Twitter. He's obviously a Russian bot. Guys, why are you letting these Russian bots on air? Listen to this. That's not even, you're not even a real person. You're not laughing. You're a Russian bot. So this is unbelievable.
Not at all.
All right. Well, thanks, Russian bot. Thanks to Russian bot for getting through here. I mean, wow. We just got trolled by a Russian bot live on air, guys. You just heard it. Oh, good thing Twitter is censoring Travis from Austin because he's a Russian bot, clearly. All right. Thank you for the call, Travis. Let's go to John calling in Minnesota, who wants to talk about the Florida shooting. Go ahead, John.
Hey, Owen. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I've seen 4 different people on video now, 2 of them teachers and 2 of them students, all claiming that they initially thought that what was happening was a drill, either a drill or a code red drill. And I thought that was really suspicious.
Yeah, you've got multiple videos, and they had a fire drill earlier that day, and they had, you know, apparently the teachers being talked about, you know, training for mass shooting drills and stuff like that. So there was kind of this, and this is what they do every time. Again, it's like, oh, how dare you point out that there was a drill there? It's like, well, they do this every time where it seems there's a drill before 9/11, there's a drill before the Boston Marathon bombing, there's a drill before the Florida shooting. I mean, there's always these drills. And so then you get these videos, and they're like, yeah, we thought it was a drill because we already had a drill. We thought it was a drill because they said they were going to do a shooting drill. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know what that means. We're not saying it was a drill, but we're just pointing that out. And then who's to say, you know, I mean, you want to talk about the craziest fringe theory. You would say that it was a drill and people died. And you would say they're literally killing people as part of drills now. I'm not saying we believe that. I'm just saying that would be the crazy fringe theory to say here if you think that it was a drill and you think that people died. No, I think that they knew about this guy. They had this whole thing brewing, and eventually it popped off, and they were ready, like they always do, all in unison to push out the anti-gun agenda. They had it all ready. They had their actors, their anti-gun activists ready to go, groomed and ready to go. They had it all ready to go. You got David Hogg. He's got all this experience. He wants to be a CNN anchor. His dad's in the FBI. He's already been on viral videos. They've got it all ready to go. And then, boom, it happens, and the rollout comes out just as it was packaged up for us to have. Anything else, John?
Yeah. 2 of those videos that I was talking about, one of them was a teacher called Ernest Ropierski, and another one was a student called Kelsey Friend. And the one with Kelsey Friend, also, she had David Hogg next to her, and she was also one of the people who made mention of a code red drill, specifically a code red, and that's supposed to be active shooter.
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that every school has drills like that. I mean, when I was in high school, we had drills.
On Hogg's face when she was saying that, it looked awkward. And then I remember later in his bumbling interview where he was kind of screwing up a bit, he made mention of a fire drill.
Yeah, because there was a fire drill that day already, and Nicholas Cruz pulled the fire alarm.
If there was a fire drill that day, or was it a code red drill? If it was a code red drill, why didn't he speak up? Or if it was a fire drill, why didn't he speak up and correct that other girl? I don't know. It's just a bunch of weirdness.
And again, why? Yeah, it's weirdness. It's like, why are there all these drills going on every time there's some sort of tragic event like this? There's always a drill going on. And you report on it, and they say that you're a tinfoil hat wearer for reporting on it. Or watch this. They'll take what I just said about the fringes theory out there saying, oh, it was a drill, and they actually had to kill people because they really want to run this drill and see what it's like in real time. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened. I don't believe that. I'm saying that would be the furthest fringe theory if you go down what's going on with these drills. But they'll take that out, and then they'll play that on Comedy Central and say, look, Schroyer says that he thinks it was a drill and they killed people. Oh, my gosh. Because that's what they do. Thank you for the call, John. And they do this to everyone. I mean, the liberal media are the biggest scumbag liars. You can't even believe it. You really can't even believe it. You watch this stuff, and you can't believe that someone is that low. You cannot believe that someone is that much of a piece of crap. Again, I'm not exalting myself as some high and mighty, oh, I'm better than everyone. No, I'm not. But I'm not some scum liar that's going to take what someone says over here and then cut it out of context and then lie about them to dehumanize them and make people hate them. No, you see, when we comment on CNN or others, we actually take the entire clip and then respond to it in real time. It's like when we go out on the streets and the protesters say, oh, I don't want to talk to you. You're just going to edit this video out of context. And it's like, no, we don't have to do that. We don't even have to do that. That's how dumb you are. We just need you raw. We don't have to edit this, but that's what they do. So they assume everyone else uses their tactics. No, we're real. We're not lowlifes. And that's why they have to shut us down. That's why they can't compete with us. And they want to destroy the culture. They want to destroy the mind. They want to destroy the society. And so how do they do that? All the thought leaders have to be total scumbags. That's how you degrade a society. You put all of their thought leaders as the most scumbag, lying filth that you can find. Like a Brian Stelter. Like a Barack Obama. Barack Obama gives a secret speech. Have you heard about this? Barack Obama gave a secret speech, an ESPN-sponsored speech, where they say, you cannot talk about this speech. You cannot share what is said in this event. It's like, what? What is that? This just happened. This is a news story. You guys can find this. In fact, it's on Drudge. Barack Obama gives secret speech. Audience is not allowed to talk about what happens inside the speech. And you know what this is? Why do they act like Barack Obama is some big sports fan? Why do they act like Barack Obama is some jock athlete, you know, one of the dudes? Because he's not. Because he's a fairy. I mean, have you ever seen the guy? I mean, look at what the guy looks like riding a bike. Looks like a total goon squad. Look at the guy try to play basketball. He can't. His golf game is a joke. Yeah, there it is. President Obama gives secret speech at 2018 Sloan Sports Analytics Conference in Boston. Do you know why he gave a secret speech, folks? Because he knows that we take what they say, play it back for you to hear, and then totally destroy it with facts and evidence. So Obama can't put his speeches, he can't put himself out in the public sphere anymore because we destroy everything he says because he's a total fraud, a total liar. So now they just get everyone into a building and they say, all right, this is a secret meeting. We can't record this or let the public know about this, but you all get it. We're all on the same team here. We're victorious. And then they don't even allow us the opportunity to have a debate or a battle of intellect or ideas. So now that's where they're going. So now just have secret meetings with Obama where they just feed their propaganda to their idiot audience, and then we can't prove it all wrong because we're not even allowed to see it. So that's what they're doing now. All right, let's go to Cindy in Virginia. Go ahead, Cindy.
Hi, Owen. First, a plug, if I may. Secret 12. I used to have to take B12 shots because I have a deficiency, but now I don't have to, thank God, because I hate shots. And my son, he had ADHD as a child. He was also deaf as a child, and the schools labeled him as retarded. I thought that he had surgery. He can hear now. Today, he's a sergeant first class in the Army. Now, he's also a veteran, wounded warrior amputee, and his wife was a veteran, and she took her own life last year, in 2016. So we've been having to deal with my granddaughter never knowing her mother. Now, I have been in some communication with you, Owen. I've had the privilege of having some communication with you, and you really helped me to get through that. I mean, the Infowars, if I may speak directly to YouTube, who's threatening you now, is that okay, Owen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Infowars is our family. Owen Schroyer is like a son to me. He did nothing wrong. You don't want to mess with my family. You don't want to mess with America's family. We have turned our backs and walked away from CNN and MSNBC. That's not going to change. Infowars offered an alternative. Patriotism, family, that's what it's all about, the truth. You don't take our family away. And I just put out a tweet saying that. Back off of Infowars or America will rise up. And Juanita Broadrick, within seconds, liked my tweet. We will not back down. This is our family. Back off of our family. That's what I wanted to say. I love you, Owen.
Thank you for that emotional call, Cindy. And, of course, they want to come after your family because they hate the family.
Yes.
They don't want a strong family. That's the entire purpose. They can't have a strong America, so they divide us on division lines like racism or xenophobia or you're pro-police or anti-police or you're pro-gun or anti-gun. So they have all these fault lines that they draw, and then they divide up the family, and then they weaken it so that they can destroy it.
Yeah, our faith as well. You're not going to break that. That's just not going to happen. Irish Catholic, a huge Irish Catholic family. That's just not going to happen.
Well, here's what they've underestimated, Cindy, because this is actually the key.
Okay.
They thought that they thought that they had a nation of zombies. I mean, they thought that they had already put all the chemicals and all the drugs out there and the fluoride in the water and everything. They thought that they had it all laid out, and they thought that they killed humanity in this country. They thought that we all were brainwashed. They thought that none of us had instincts anymore. And they thought, because they know that it's that defiance is one of the leading human characteristics, is naturally to just defy what you're told to do. And so they assumed that they had beaten that instinct out of us. They assumed that they had destroyed the human instinct of defiance and that we wouldn't push back against this, that they can say the family's bad, God is bad, and that we are already totally brainwashed, totally dumbed down, that we don't have defiance anymore to say, no, the family's not dead. No, we can believe in God. So that's where they underestimated us.
Yeah, and actually that did work. That's what's sad, is it has worked with some people. And right now, those people, I feel for them.
Yeah, it went either one way or the other.
We don't hate you. We forgive you. We forgive all of you who are falling for this crap and fighting us. We forgive all of you on the left and even some young people. I've had to forgive my son as well, who's angry with me because I won't stop talking about how much I love President Trump and you all at Infowars. But I forgive him. We forgive you. We love you. We understand that you are conflicted. We understand that you've been lied to and you don't know what to do with that. We are here for you, and we will be here for you to stand with you, not against you. We forgive you, and we love you. We have our faith. You have your faith in whatever you want, and to each his own, we don't judge. And that's just it. And we love you, Infowars, and we're not backing down. It'll be like YouTube who in a couple of years if YouTube does take you down. That's not happening, not on my watch.
Well, that's exactly it. And the more, thank you so much for the call, Cindy. And the more the left shows their true colors, the more they're going to lose their audience. And this is going to be the key, too, to recognize psychologically that we are winning the culture war. We are gaining in numbers. We have all the momentum right now, but they have their Tokyo Roses in the media. They have their Tokyo Roses in the Democrat Party that publish counter memos, a made-up thing that doesn't even exist. They just make it up. And so we cannot be tricked and deceived by their Tokyo roses. We cannot let their propaganda overwhelm us, because the more the left shows its true colors, the more they lose their momentum, and they have no momentum right now, and that's why they're freaking out. Let's go to Justin calling in from Wisconsin. Go ahead, Justin. Do we have Justin, guys? I'm not hearing Justin. Okay, let's move on from Justin, and let's just war game it here on air, guys, because we're not taking any breaks, so I don't really have the opportunity to communicate with the crew. If you guys just want to pop in my ear real quick and tell me what you're thinking, and if you want me to clear this board and then pitch it to Paul Joseph Watson. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We've got some Paul Joseph Watson coming up here. Hey, you know what? Also, we played a video yesterday. Here's the thing. I mean, I guess I can't be intimidated, but they are trying to shut us down. I mean, you know, we have to think about everything we do, because they look at everything we do under a microscope to find any way they can possibly try to ban us. We played the video. We played the video yesterday on the War Room. I played it twice, where you have all of these people from the school that are anti-gun activists that are in the drama club on TV. And so I'm sitting here thinking about how powerful that video is, and then realizing that if I play that video, they're going to ban me. So it's like I'm sitting here on a tightrope, like I have this bombshell video that I know if I play, they're going to ban me and attack me for it. And here's the thing. Again, it sucks that the establishment and that the left has decided to use children as their pawns. So this is what they've done now. They put, look how sick the left is. Look at who they put into the ring. Look at who they put into the battle ring for ideas and intellect. Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters, two grandmas that can't even think straight. So you see, they put up the weakest, most vulnerable people to put into the ring so that you feel bad attacking them and that you look bad attacking them. So it's like, you know, here's Nancy Pelosi. She doesn't even know who the president is. She's totally clueless. And I have to attack her because that's what the Democrats put in the ring. So I have to attack two women who literally, folks, I mean, these women put on so much makeup just to be presentable. These women look like the crypt keepers. Nancy Pelosi, I mean, Maxine Waters, can you imagine what she looks like with that chrome dome? You know she's got a rug on. Nancy Pelosi fumbles in President Bush. What? So that's what they do. So they put the most vulnerable, weakest people into the ring because it's all about optics. Oh, look at the conservatives attacking the poor, innocent grandmas. Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters, they're just nice, innocent ladies. Nancy Pelosi's worth over $100 million. How did she make that money? Maxine Waters gets caught doing bank deals for her husband. I mean, these people are, oh, man. And so what do they do next? So then they say, okay, fine. They relentlessly attack Pelosi and Waters. Let's put high schoolers into the ring with them. Let's see them attack high schoolers. Then we'll really get them. That's when we'll ban them. That's when we'll say that they're bullying. Yeah, that's when we'll really make them look evil. We'll say they're attacking high schoolers. You put them in the ring. You used them as pawns. That's like going into battle and then literally using these people as shields to take all the bullets for you so that they take all the damage, and then you just huck them aside, and then you come in to clear it all up. And so that's what they're doing. And so it's like, I'm sitting here literally like, do I play this video that shows how they're all in the drama club? Do I play this video of high school students bragging about being actors and getting into plays? Do I have to go down that line? Do I really have to go there? And are they going to ban me for it? And I guess the answer to both those questions is yes. And welcome to the Infowar. Do you guys? I know that Harrison is back there. Does anyone do we know if we have that video in the video selector? All right. Let's go to a couple more of these callers. I'm just going to play it. I'm telling you, though, I'm nervous to play it because I'm telling you, they're going to strike us for it. And I don't want to be the strike that shuts us down. I don't know what to do. I guess I can't play it. Let's just go back to the callers. Let's go to Frank. He's calling in from West Virginia. Yeah, guys, we'll clear this board. Yeah. Is this Frank?
Yes, it's Frank.
Go ahead, Frank.
I'd like to just comment on these shootings that have been happening, these church shootings as well as the school shootings that have been going on lately. My question is, it all points back to the AR-15, and it seems like, to me, there's a lot more weapons out there that are far more potent and far more accurate. So my question is, what is their end game here? Are they trying to just take away the first rifle they can that was developed by the military to not kill but to wound? And after that, what is the game that they're playing? What is the end game here is my question.
Well, all you have to do is look at history and look at what other leftist leaders and movements have done. You look at Stalin, you look at Mao, you look at Lenin, you look at Hitler. I mean, those are the leading thought leaders of the left that you know, rose to power. So what do? They come to take the guns. They all took the guns. Hitler took the guns. Mao took the guns. I mean, so there's your answer. Just study Hitler. Study Stalin. If you want to see what the left is going to do next, study the historical leaders of the left. They take the guns so that they can create a civilization that cannot protect itself. That's what it's all about.
But it's kind of like what happened in Australia. They convinced the public to hand in all their weapons, and supposedly, in quotes, they have controlled crime there.
Well, you know what? Here's my response to that, Frank, and I'm not attacking you. This is just a response to people that always use this argument of, well, look at this country or look at that country. That's not America, bitch. Okay? This is the USA. Guns are in our DNA. This is our culture. This is our sovereignty. This is our nation. This is our republic. That's what it's about. When was the Australian rebellion from all the citizens there that freed them and changed the world? The shot heard around the world. No, that's America. So, you know, that's what people say, well, look at what's going on. Okay, I get it. You want to point to other examples of things where you think politics and ideas are working. Okay, fine. But don't sit here and say, well, you know, Australia did it or they did it. Australia doesn't have the same culture that we have. And that's what the left wants to do, too. They want to make everything the same. They want to make everything the same. You need to be like Australia and ban your guns. No, how about we're the United States of America and we have a Second Amendment? How about that? Can we have a culture? Can we have a Bill of Rights?
I'm so happy you said that because I think that Australia is a total failure. And
I had a friend that lived in Australia. He wasn't a big fan.
I
got family down there.
Many people in this country don't realize that you can buy fully automatic weapons legally. Lots of people. As long as you have no background history, you can buy a fully automatic Browning machine gun, 50 caliber, if you want it, with all the ammo that you can handle. And you know what? You should be able to, as long as you have no record.
Well, look, there's a fair debate to be had about all of this, but that's not what we're having. We're not having a fair debate. We're not having an intellectual debate. The left is just calling for gun grabbing, even though that's not the solution to this, and it never was. They just politicize everything, and that's what they do. And then again, Frank, to answer your original question, what is the end game? Well, that's easy. Look at what happened in the Nazi socialist Hitler-led army and how they took the guns, and then they eventually just started killing their opposition and their enemies. So that's the end game of the left. All you got to do is study the history of the left, like Mao and Lenin and Hitler. Study the history of the left, and that's where the end game of the left is. That's the only end game for the left is death. If you follow the patterns and the thought patterns and everything of the left, it's always ultimate death because humans are the problem. Thank you for the call, Frank. Let's go to Brian in Washington State.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, what's up, Owen? Hey, Owen. Thanks for getting me on. First-time caller, and I just wanted to touch base on the censorship. I can't find your guys' live video anywhere on YouTube today. And I can see how they're attacking the right and the conservatives, basically silence us and listen to what we have to say. Lies, lies, lies. But what I wanted to get to, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you made a connection today about the student that talked about the military putting bodies in the corner and putting mats over them.
Right. So that was from the I just want to clarify. That was from the eyewitness account where the girl says she's being walked out and she saw what she describes as army people moving bodies into a corner and putting mats over them is what she said.
Yeah, and then you brought up the fact that the shooter, who students claim they were with during the shooting, saying that he heard demons and voices and he was on psych meds, right?
Yes.
Well, I put two and two together, and this is going to sound funny, but CSI has true stories. And they played one where this woman was hearing demons at night, and she was on hearing demons at night, and she was freaking out, and they ended up putting her on psych meds and put her in a psych ward. And the guy that runs the CSI, the main cop or whatever that investigates, he was in the military, and he figured out by what happened because the military does operations where they do the same thing. And on that show, the woman's bedroom, they had a mic in the vent of the heater, and it was whispering. They would inject her at night, and it would say stuff to her that would make her want to do stuff. And she said that she was hearing demons and all this and that, and then they put her in the psych ward. Well, she was she was one of the key witnesses to something that had happened, and they had to shut her up so she couldn't speak on it. Now, I don't know if he's a witness or anything, but that's the same operation they used, was putting somebody on psych meds, whispering things to them at night. They were hearing demons.
And, of course, you've got the history there. You've got the history. You've got Sirhan, who was under mind control. Then you've got Aaron Alexis, who says the same thing. He thought he was under mind control. And you know about the MK Ultra, secret testing.
Yep. And exactly. And then you hear all these drills with all these shootings. Why is there always a drill? Why are certain people, key players like the FBI and the military, why are they always involved? And people should see it. This is why they're trying to cover up conservative news, because the truth is there. You guys use facts. But if they can just shut us up and keep pushing their lies and keep brainwashing, take our free speech, take our guns, and it blows my mind that Americans can't see our history and other countries that lose their guns and what's going on with countries right now, how they're invading. Those aren't refugees. Those are soldiers. That's an invasion. And how can people not put two and two together? But you said that with the military putting the bodies in the corner and covering them up, you're right. That's not how they do a live shooter investigation. Why would they even fondle with anything in there? Why were cops standing to the side? Why are they only picking certain students to say certain things? Why are they shutting down other students that want to speak? And it just goes hand in hand. Why was the military doing that? And then why was this kid? Has anybody said anything about seeing him shooting? Has anybody done any other investigations besides the fact that he had the cops called on him, the FBI knew about it? Why did everybody stand down? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of put all that together, and it makes you think. And you wouldn't want to think that our own military, but what about the FBI? They were involved. They colluded. They played against Trump. They had text messages proving that they were involved in this fake dossier.
Oh, and you got to keep in mind the FBI has to be in fear for its life right now. So they may, who knows, maybe the FBI wants to do something to make them seem more relevant.
Right.
Even though it totally proves how incompetent they are.
Exactly. And these were high up FBI agents. This wasn't the low game. So if Hillary can have play in the upper FBI, imagine what they could do. Imagine how they could take over. They can't have a world government with the free republic.
No, and that's what it all comes down to. And that's why they have to censor us and stop us. Because, like you said, as soon as they shut us down and shut down the truth, then they get the monopoly of news, and it's all lies. So then what happens? Well, you brainwash the youth. The youth grows up, and they literally don't have a clue.
And what they're doing with the Tide Pods and all it's ridiculous. But I want to share another thing. I'm on dialysis. I don't have kidneys. And I was in the hospital for 14 days, and I prayed to God. I said, look, man, I want to give my life to you. I want to do your will. I want to do everything. And I ended up giving my life to him. And then shortly after that, I asked for the truth. I said, with everything going on in this country, I said, I just pray that you could show me the truth And I ended up in the hospital with a heart attack because I started seeing what was going on. I was 31 years old at the time, I want to say. And I started seeing what was going on, and I had a heart attack. They couldn't explain it. They said, you're too young. You should have been in ICU for weeks or months after this, but you bounced right back. And I explained to them what, I started seeing the truth, how I prayed. And so I prayed again. I said, help me see the truth without my anxiety, without freaking me out. Because anybody that starts seeing the truth and see what's going on in our country is going to freak them out. Like, is this real? And
no, yeah,
so
the first year of getting woke or taking the red pill is like, I mean, it's brutal.
Dude. And so I did that, and that's how I've been able to even handle the truth. And now I've been following you guys. I've been following Breitbart. I've been following all of it. And I've woken up a lot of people. And I've had a lot of people call me crazy. They cuss me out. They defriend me. And I tell them, look, I'm not going to befriend you. I'm going to keep pushing the truth. If you want to delete me, that's okay. And I've had people wake up. But it's just, I pray that so many more people actually see what's happening. And there's people out there that it's like it's impossible. You can't wake them up, and you wonder, how are they so deep into this? Our open borders, going after our free speech, going after our guns, trying to flood us like other countries with refugees, supporting the enemy, supporting MS-13 illegals, basically, And it just blows your mind. How did we get this far? And you think about it, that's always been the mission. If you could take out America, you can do a world government, Agenda 21, like.
And that's it. And it's been the Democrats and the Republicans both in line going along with it, and Trump destroyed that entire process by taking over the Republican Party and stopping the Clinton, crime syndicate family from getting back into power. It's really incredible, Brian. Thank you so much for your call.
Yep,
Let's go to Jeff calling in from Indiana. And you want to talk about some picture of Nicholas Cruz. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hi, Owen. This is Jeff. What a great show, man! This is one for the books, you guys that you're doing today. Yeah, I noticed when you guys put up a mug shot of Nicholas Cruz, and beside it was another picture of him on Facebook. And if you could pop that up, you just look at that guy. Yeah, look at in his eyes. He looks like a picture of a puppy dog that they're selling. They're trying to get at the Humane Society to get somebody to adopt him. He doesn't look like a guy that has just been arrested for a mass murder. This guy, he doesn't look like he has a clue. And another thing that...
Well, and that's what these psychotropic drugs do to you.
Really? My daughter's taking them, and she don't look like that. This guy don't look like he has a clue. If you've ever been arrested and hauled into jail, if you look at any other mug shots of any mass murderers, these guys look psyched out. This guy didn't look like he knows what's going on, like somebody has fed him some kind of a story, like everything's going to be okay and you just need to do this or need to do that. And look at the picture of the guy on the Facebook who has the gun. That gun has a red tip.
Yeah, that's an airsoft gun or something, an airsoft pistol.
Or a BB gun or something like that. And this is what they put out to the public. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm thinking, my God. And it almost brought me to tears looking at this guy, because I just don't see a murderer in there. Maybe somebody very troubled, but I just don't see it. And I just wanted to bring that up. But it's been a great show. You've had some great callers on. And I just called in because I looked at this guy and I'm saying, what is going on? This is supposed to be the mugshot the day he was...
Well, I'll tell you what, there's an interesting point you make there, and thank you for the kind words in the call, Jeff. There's an interesting point there, and while I disagree with you, I have no reason, at least right now, to not think Cruz was the shooter. I mean, there were so many people that warned about it. Apparently he talked about it on social media and everything. But I do think there's something, perhaps, to the angle where they want to put pictures out or whatever to make you feel bad for Nicholas Cruz so that they can demonize the gun. So it's like, don't paint Nicholas Cruz as the psycho. Don't paint Nicholas Cruz as the bad guy. Don't let whatever about Nicholas Cruz get out there, because we need to talk about the guns. See, we need to go after the guns. That's the problem. Look, yeah, don't. So if you think there was something behind, them trying to release a picture that, makes him look whatever for the public to see, that would be so that they could attack the gun. So if there's anything to that, I think that would be what is behind it. All right, we're about to sign off here. The crew's been here all day on a Saturday. We don't even take days off here at Infowars. And that's why we need your support at InfoWarsStore.com. Here's the deal, though. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to play this video. What I want to do is, and I'm sure if Alex is listening, he may want to play it tomorrow, but I don't want to play it because things are so toxic right now that anything we do alluding to these children falls under total attack, total scrutiny, and they're literally one click away from banning us. I mean, their finger is on the button to totally ban us right now. So I will steer you in the direction of a video, though. Pull up the War Room YouTube channel, guys, and Harrison will know where this video is. It's the final segment from the War Room yesterday. So if you want to see the video, you can go over there to find it, and then I want Alex to review this before we play it here, because we're not going to play this video and then get banned. That's the one right there. So if you go to War Room Show, warroom.show, warroom.show, there's the video right there. Okay? So I'm not even going to, I mean, folks, they literally are, the censorship that we're going through right now is just unreal. I mean, and we don't even talk about it enough. But this is why you're so key at InfoWarsStore.com. This is why we have InfoWarsStore.com, so that we don't have to rely on YouTube and these other outlets to get funding. We just rely on your support, and we don't twist your arm for support either. We give you good deals. You got 50% off Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste right now. You got 50% off the Liver Cleanse Icarin. You've got 53% off Cell Force. You've got 25% off Brain Force Plus. I mean, you've got household items, shampoo, body wash. Everything is at InfoWarsStore.com. You've got Emmerich's Essential Oils at InfoWarsStore.com. Survival Shield X2, one of our best products ever, is on sale right now. So you see the censorship, you see what we're going through, and you know how to support us. And we need you now more than ever. And we try to make it easy on you, because we give you great products, we give you great specials, and you can see that we're paying it forward by launching new shows, going live more. Here we are live today, building new studios. We've got a podcast studio being built. We've got a new mothership studio getting built that's epic. And this is what we do when we get your support at InfoWarsStore.com. We just blast forward to the next level right in the face of death, basically. I mean, that's what they want to do. They want to kill us. And yes, I mean, physically, they'd like to kill us too. But I'm just speaking like our voice on the internet. They literally want to kill our voice on the internet. They want to kill our presence on the internet. They want us to never exist. They want us to just disappear. And so we are one click away from that, and we are just blasting forward, just right in its face, just saying, throwing caution to the wind and saying, we're blasting forward. This is the mission. Battle formations. Charge forward. You've got our back. So we're going forward. So InfoWarsStore.com is how you support us. All kinds of specials there. And as always, all the news at Infowars.com, newswars.com. And people are saying they were struggling to find the video today. Here's what we have to do. We have to spread ourselves. Honestly, I mean, we probably spread ourselves too thin, and you can't even really measure our real numbers. But we have to, so we have to have all these different satellites and everything so that we can't get completely erased. So it's like we jack in over here, and then we jack in over here, and then we jack back in over here, so that they can never totally, fully, figure out how to manipulate us and shut us down without shutting down an entire network, which is what they want to do, which is what they will do. So I don't know if anybody back there is working the Jones show tomorrow, but I would just have that video for him, and if he wants to roll with it, then let him roll with it. I don't want to do it today because that could be the one that bans us, and I don't want to be the one that gets us banned here before Alex goes live tomorrow. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. The big story is that the left is coming for full censorship right now. They're using the Florida shooting as their nexus point not just as a distraction from all the things that are going on right now behind the scenes, the developments in Israel and Iran and everything, you know, Obama and Clinton getting caught in their crimes and all their Russian collusion. But they're distracting from all of that with the Florida shooting, and they're coming for two things. They're coming for the First Amendment, and they're coming for the Second Amendment. And they're using the Florida shooting to do both by saying, look at what the conservatives and Trump supporters are doing to these children. They're bullying them. They're attacking them. We have to shut them down and censor them. So then they use the children as political pawns to destroy the First Amendment. Then they use this event as a pawn for the Second Amendment too, and they say, oh, it was the guns' fault. Ignore the fact the background check failed. Ignore the fact the FBI failed. Ignore the fact local law enforcement failed, and just blame the gun. As if that will solve anything. But it doesn't matter. All they want to do is get rid of the First Amendment and get rid of the Second Amendment. And even if they don't actually do that legislatively, even if they don't actually go in and say, we're ending the Bill of Rights or whatever, they can do it by censoring. They can do it by banning certain things to create a slippery slope and to create an idea that says, okay, now we have the mandate to do this. Just like Scalia wrote a decision a few years back saying, look, the Second Amendment is not for all weapons. There are limitations. So that's the story. First Amendment is under attack. Second Amendment is under attack. They're using Infowars as the example to ban the First Amendment and dehumanizing us, and then they're using the Florida shooting as the example to ban the Second Amendment. And while they twist it and they convolute it and they say, look, it's good at what has to be done. Infowars is evil. Look, it's good at it's what has to be done. Look at all the children. They're dead in the school. It's not about that. It's all about their agenda. It's all about destroying America. It's all about ending the First Amendment. It's all about ending the Second Amendment. We had the caller call in. What is the end game of the left? The end game of the left is death and destruction. Just look at every inner city that Democrats run. That is always the end game of the left, death and destruction, which is what they need in America so that they can roll out the world government. And they cannot have a world government as long as the United States of America and the flag still flies over it. But if they can disarm the population, if they can end free speech, then they can destroy this country, and that's exactly what they'll do. And for all those little minions of the left that keep saying Trump is like Hitler and Trump supporters are Nazis, it's time for you to read a book, take a history lesson, and realize it is you and your leaders that are acting like Nazis and going down the exact same pattern and playbook that the Nazis used. So there you go. Infowars is being banned by YouTube. We need your support now more than ever. They're going to try to ban ARs, and they're going to try to ban conservatives on social media. That is the next step. That is what's over the horizon. But it's all a fraud. It's all a big Tokyo Rose event to act like they have the momentum, to act like they have a mandate, and to act like they have public opinion. They don't. They have no momentum. They do not have public opinion. They are frauds and cowards and liars that are all about to be exposed by real people, by real heroes who are investigating their crimes right now. And that's why they're freaking out. That's why they have to shut us down before it all comes out and we report on it. So we are about to sign off. But before we do, we're gonna hear from Paul Joseph Watson, breaking it all down from his angles and with his logic. Do we have that video ready, guys? Okay, so I'm gonna sign off here. Thanks to everyone that called in. Thanks to everybody that watched today. Please keep spreading the links. Keep going InfoWarsStore.com. Keep supporting us. Keep funding us so that we can build and grow right in the face of censorship. And it only gets weirder from here. The day is always darkest before the dawn, but the dawn is ahead of us, but it will get darker before we get there. So for Alex Jones, for the whole crew, for everyone that called in, thank you. Thanks for the support. Alex Jones will be live tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central, as usual, with the Alex Jones Show. I sign off. I pass it over to Paul Joseph Watson. You stay classy, Info Warriors.
Well, I mean, you predicted it, Alex, when you were on with Milo. You said they would conflate wild conspiracy theories about the shooting not happening, with us questioning the public statements of this kid who's got his First Amendment right to lobby for, gun control, and we've got our right to combat that. But no, that's harassment, that's bullying apparently. But this other kid who said the question given to him was scripted, CNN can publicly shame him and call him a liar, and that's completely fine. In Russia, Alex, the government censors dissident media outlets. In America, apparently CNN thinks it's their job to do that. Listen, Alex, they took down the video because of CNN's campaign to censor another media network, by the way, for harassment and bullying. This is in the same week that CNN sent a reporter, Drew Griffin, to the home of an old lady to harass and bully her.
But what part of it in this is a cover-up? What, are you saying that's not true, or what?
The Russians, I don't care if they were involved or not. That to me is the least important thing.
But they were involved with you. Did you guys know that?
They weren't involved with us. Just make sure that you report it correctly, that,
But you guys were involved with being patriotic, right?
Very, very patriotic, but not...
Being patriotic was the group that contacted and helped organize some of these activities that you posted on your own Facebook account.
Those were legitimate.
Those were Russians.
They were not Russians. I don't go with the Russians.
That group was Russian.
I have nothing to do with the Russians.
Well, apparently you did.
No.
Maybe you didn't know it, but you did.
When you're talking like this, I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Well, I'm talking what's
Those people that were with me were all Trump supporters. Very, very much so.
And all apparently following the direction of groups that were associated with Russians who were actually infiltrated.
BS. And please report that. I don't believe that. That's bullshit. I know all the people that were with me, okay? They were at my meetings. They're all Trump supporters, okay?
Mm-hmm. But did you realize that you guys were in communication electronically with Russians?
Not me. I don't know.
You were posting stuff on the Facebook.
Hillary Clinton was, and so was all her bandits.
Some of the stuff that you were in charge of the Facebook account, right? You were posting and reposting almost word for word the information that was coming out of this Internet Research Agency in St. Petersburg.
No.
You don't believe that?
Nope. It's full. Thank you.
Over Russian collusion claims. Everybody's seen the clip. It was widely condemned by everybody in the media. They said it was harassment and bullying. Now, that clip's obviously on YouTube somewhere on CNN's channel. Maybe people should think about flagging that video, because that actually is harassment and bullying. Oh, but we know YouTube has one rule for us and another rule for people in the
Facebook. Millions of people are on sites calling for organizing for murdering the president.
Exactly. So Jimmy Kimmel can talk about tragedies and make money out of them, and that's fine. Anybody else does that. Even people who try to raise money for charities, they get shut down. Alex, they're talking about fake news and conspiracies about tragedies and the moral panic surrounding that. The mainstream media circulated a fake news story about this tragedy for about 24 hours when they claimed the shooter was a member of a white supremacist group. It was a fake news story. YouTube reacted to that by taking down a video, which is by Tim Pool. He criticized the media for falling for that fake news story. They took down his video. So if you take on the likes of CNN for their fake news, for conspiracies, fake news about tragedies, they target you as well. So again, they're all on the same team. Alex, in this article, they literally salivate over the fact, oh, we flagged these other videos and 2 more strikes and they're out. Now it's 1 strike, as he said.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. CNN's not just telling everybody to go flag. They admit they're trying it. Because we're talking about the young people, the young adults they have on as their PR people that go up and basically intern for them. They're mad that we're going after basically their PR people and just pointing out that they're PR people. We're not saying the shooting didn't happen.
And Alex, I mean, you don't need to like Infowars to see that this is a massive concern. Obviously, there are center-right media organizations that hate us, okay? Once we're gone, they're next. Everyone needs to be concerned about this. It's not just CNN. Wall Street Journal 2 weeks ago came out with an article about how they were lobbying YouTube to censor, to demote our content on the algorithm. We know YouTube's already doing that by placing CNN and the others on top of our content. So they're already trying to push us down. But no, that's not enough. We need to be gone off the platform, deplatformed, silenced, just like in Russia, where the government does it. CNN does it in America. And the CEO of News Corp came out and admitted the biggest reason for it. He said, in a, quote, dysfunctional media environment, they are going to make more money if they silence independent voices. He literally said, quote, the potential returns for our journalism would be far higher. And brazenly admitted the primary reason is to make more money for them. Obviously, it's because we're challenging and destroying their narrative, which is why CNN is doing it. And they're so brazen about it, Alex. That wasn't even the only article in which they're promoting this new campaign to silence us off the internet. There's another article as well. This is a full-board lobbying effort by CNN, and everybody should be absolutely outraged over this. Oh, Alex, the argument you always hear, oh, YouTube's a private company, it can do what it wants. No, YouTube's working with government to crush the First Amendment. That's the issue, okay? We need some kind of Telecommunications Act, Alex, to regulate these companies because they are monopolies. If you're not on those platforms, you're not on anything at this point. Google is the internet, okay? We need some kind of law or Telecommunications Act. But that Wall Street Journal guy, Jack Nickass, he did the same thing that CNN did, Alex. He got a bunch of Infowars videos, took them directly to YouTube and said, oh, doesn't this one violate your policy? What about this one? They've got people whose sole job, or partly their job, within these news organizations is to try and get Infowars censored. They've got dedicated teams at this point. They can flash up another article, Alex, which is Senator warns YouTube algorithm may be open to manipulation by bad actors. This was Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, whining about how people had negative opinions about Hillary Clinton on YouTube, and that's why she lost the election. God forbid people were questioning her health, Alex. I wonder which video he's referring to on that score, maybe the one that we did that got 6-7 million views. So he's calling on YouTube to bury us in the algorithm. That's not enough just to bury us because people will find us anyway if people really want to find us. No, we have to be deplatformed, gone entirely. We need to lobby for some kind of new Telecommunications Act. As I've said, I mean, people within the Trump administration have seemed sympathetic to that at different points, so that's what we want. The thing about YouTube, Alex, is it takes hard work to build up a YouTube audience, a subscriber base, and you have to have a personality to be successful on YouTube. People who work in the mainstream media, Alex, don't have personalities. Okay, it takes talent. It takes having a message that resonates with people. They're boring. They're lazy. No one wants to watch them, which is why they're so resentful and jealous, which is why they're deliberately targeting YouTube and trying to shut us down. It's not just an overall agenda. It's also personal. They hate us because they're boring. Well, the New York Times floated a trial balloon on this back in November. The headline is YouTube's rapid response partisans game the news of tragedy, which is similar to the Cuomo thing on CNN where he says, you know, only we can read the WikiLeaks. And in this article, they conflate me with this actual racist who responded to the Sutherland Spring shooting by saying it's either a Muslim or a black guy before anyone knew anything about it. Then they mention me. And they get into this whole question about, oh, how do you manage to get your tweets to the top of the search engine, like you mentioned with the whole congressional hearing? How do you manage to reach so many people on YouTube? I told them, there's no strategy. It's having an argument. It's resonating with people. It's not being boring. And they can't compete with that, Alex. There was an MTV News video. MTV News used to be at least a big social justice warrior channel. They did an interview with Tim Kaine a couple of weeks ago. It has 200 views. I mean, they can't resonate with anyone. So they're conflating us challenging this student, being coached on his opinions, being an activist, which he is, and fair enough, I don't care. We can address his arguments without being completely censored. This is absolutely incredible. Every media organization in America should be up in arms about this.
Support good oral health with our one-of-a-kind Super Blue fluoride-free products. Infowars Life brings you a revolutionary toothpaste blend with iodine and nano silver designed to deliver a powerful clean. Enjoy a minty fresh flavor made with peppermint oil or try our bubblegum flavor. Pair this groundbreaking toothpaste with the Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and supercharge your oral health. Our amazing mouthwash features natural oils and ancient ingredients used since Aboriginal and biblical times. Instead of containing fluoride, our Super Blue line is loaded with the good halogen iodine and an array of other beneficial compounds that have been hand-selected for their oral health benefits. Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and toothpaste are the first and only to contain all of these natural ingredients: xylitol, nanosilver, and iodine. Notice the difference with our Super Blue fluoride-free products. Refresh your breath and invigorate your oral health routine at InfoWarsStore.com. That's InfoWarsStore.com.
New from Emmerich's Essentials, fragrance-free natural deodorant for your body care needs. Playing basketball in the dry summer heat really makes me sweat. To maintain my game, I need all the confidence I can get. That's why I use Emmerich's Essentials Natural Deodorant. Made with organic ingredients, this deodorant combines mineral crystals with natural botanicals to ionize odor, keeping me fresh throughout the day. While shooting hoops, the last thing I want is sweaty armpits making my hands slippery and the ball wet. That's why I recommend Emmerich's Essentials fragrance-free deodorant. Even though it's unscented, it's effective at combating strong body odor, and I don't have to worry about any unwanted allergic reactions to my sensitive skin. Whether you're a guy or gal, the last thing you want to be worried about is your deodorant. No petroleum-based ingredients, 100% natural and cruelty-free. Stay in the game with Emmerich's Essentials fragrance-free natural deodorant. Available at InfoWarsStore.com. Electrify your day with Secret 12. It's like lightning in a bottle. We all have days in which we just can't seem to perform at the level we'd like to. Infowars Life Secret 12 is designed to naturally energize your body and mind with 2 great tasting and super high quality forms of vitamin B12. Proper vitamin and nutrient intake is essential to keep your body functioning at optimum levels. The reality is, it's hard to take in the proper amount of vitamins we need each day with our modern diets. Secret 12 by Infowars Life is an easy way to naturally upgrade your vitamin B12 intake and support your body's natural systems. It pairs 2 forms of vitamin B12 into one explosive formula. Vitamin B12 supports healthy energy levels through red blood cell formation and aiding in the body's natural processes, but it also assists with many other functions of the body. Electrify your mind and body and take your health to the next level. Experience the power of Secret 12 at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.